okay.
We good?
I think so.
Thought
I'll just give the chat a second. There we go. Now it's saying it's starting.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. I'm going to pop out the chat just to make it easier to read.
Let my studio open, the cats are free.
Oh, great. Let them run amok.
Get out of here, little buttheads.
Ooh, you okay?
Yep. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. Not being outsmarted by cats.
Uh-huh. You sure?
I'm sure. Definitely no cat outsmarting of Dom going on today.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Let us know if we're too loud, if we're too quiet. I'm not going to be as loud as I normally am because I'm having a bit of a bad throat day myself.
And I'm always having a bad throat day, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much of an excuse, but...
I mean, you don't have to have an excuse to have a sore throat. I'm pretty sure it's open to all.
That's fair. Perfect volume. Is that an actual sword? Yes. There are many swords in this house.
Yeah.
This one's Longclaw.
This is Longclaw. This is my Valyrian steel sword. Except it's stainless steel, and instead of being made in Valyria, it was made in China. So there's that.
Is it a good sword?
It's okay. It's not very sharp.
Well, I would hope not.
I like it. It's got this weird ringlet here that stops me from being able to choke up on the blade. So I always feel like when I'm holding it, my thumb and forefinger are being forced outwards weirdly. So they say it's an exact replica of the one from the show, but I think they're lying. I think Kit Harington's one is nicer.
Okay. We've hopefully distracted the cats for now. So if you hear stuff in the background that's running around, that's the cats. They may make an appearance later, depending on how friendly they're being.
Just post my video.
I liked your video. You're singing the theme song.
Okay, I got a tweet and stuff, so talk amongst yourselves.
Yes. So yeah, just give us a sec to let everybody get on the stream and whatnot. We're going to be talking about spoilers for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just in case that wasn't... We're not only doing...
Final season predictions may include lots of spoilers.
Yes,
for the previous season.
Yeah, if you are not up to end of season 7, this is not the stream for you, I'm afraid.
No, unfortunately not.
Replace Dom with cats, or fuck off.
Aww.
Do you mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright. Or
nice.
do not replace Dom with cats.
Yeah, that works, I guess. In seconds, sorry, I'm just trying to put things on my social medias and my Facebook.
Will Darth Vader appear in it? You know, I'm gonna say no.
Probably not,
because he died at the Battle of Endor. So, how's he gonna be there? You know, you gotta think these things through.
Hey, these are the things we talk about.
Sorry. Why not fuse Dom and the cat? Because this is not Full Metal Alchemist, and that episode made me cry.
Oh no! Why would you remind me of that? That's so mean. Oh.
Have you guys seen the Bud Light Game of Thrones commercial? I have, and I thought it was funny. I'm also curious to know if the Bud Knight is dead in canon now, and that made me think, does Bud Light have a canon? And then I got bored and walked away. There was a Bud Light commercial at the Super Bowl.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm fully aware. We just didn't watch it because we don't have cable.
That's fair.
Why can't copying things on Facebook just work?
Because Facebook hates us all.
Apparently.
Facebook is angry.
Apparently.
Cool. So, while she's doing that, I'm going to set up what we're going to do first is I printed out a list of all the characters, just all the characters of Game of Thrones. We're going to play a quick game of Dead or Alive. And then once we've figured out who's left, we're going to try and decide if they're going to make it through to the end of Season 8.
God, Facebook is terrible. I cannot post anything on this thing. I'm trying to copy paste on my phone. It's just not working. I hate this thing. Fine. I'm just going to post the link. Then that should be fine.
Is Cersei the real prince that was promised? Is Zorha a high? There's lots of interpretations of that, but I don't think Cersei can match it. Can she?
She's not technically a princess.
She's a queen.
That's not a princess. Different thing. She's a queen by marriage.
That's still a queen.
but not a princess. I think the idea is it's supposed to be somebody who is of royal blood, not necessarily the progenitor, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just posting the link. Facebook is stupid.
Oh, honey.
I hate this thing. Anyway, the queen is an upgraded princess. Yes, kind of.
That's true. I mean, she made it all the way to the side of the board, so she became a queen.
Yeah, fair enough.
A little chess joke for you there.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Okay, so ready to play the game?
Yes.
Okay, starting with Robert Baratheon.
He did.
He did. He got poisoned or made drunk and was skewered by a boar.
Yep.
Jaime Lannister.
Still alive.
Still alive. All right. Catelyn Stark.
Dead.
She did. Wed
Dead.
wedding.
Should have gotten to do other stuff, but dead.
Yeah, she should have come back as a zombie, but let's we'll swing back to that.
Books.
Cersei Lannister.
Alive.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Alive.
Jorah Mormont.
Alive, surprisingly.
Viserys Targaryen.
Dead.
He did.
He hella dead.
Golden Crown. Jon Snow.
Both, technically.
Yeah, both, but we're going to say alive. We're going to say alive. Okay. Arya, so Sansa and Arya Stark.
Alive.
Robb Stark.
Dead.
Red Wedding. Theon Greyjoy.
Alive.
Bran Stark.
Alive.
Sort of.
Kinda.
He's a crazy
Depends on the
magic
definition
commander.
of alive.
Yep. Joffrey Baratheon.
Hell
Lannister.
dead.
Dead. Sandor the Hound Clegane.
Alive.
Alive. Tyrion Lannister.
Alive.
Alive. Khal Drogo.
Dead.
He died of a boo-boo.
He died of a boo-boo. Mm-hmm. He died because he didn't sanitize. He's that one kid who's like, no, I'm just going to put a Band-Aid on it. It'll be fine.
I don't need any Band-Aid. It was one of those baby boomers. It was like, nah, in my day we just rolled in mud when we got cut. And now we are dead, Khal Drogo. You happy, baby boomers? You killed Khal Drogo.
I feel like you're doing a little bit of a John Oliver impression there.
That's a completely different accent. You are racist against the British. I shouldn't say that. It's nationalist against the British.
Not accent, but your delivery.
All right, Peter Littlefinger Baelish. Dead, killed by plot convenience.
Should have died much earlier.
Yeah. Davos Seaworth.
Alive.
Oh, Samwell Tarly.
Alive.
Stannis Baratheon.
Dead.
Killed by Brienne of Tarth, I think.
Yes.
And technically Ramsay and all them lot. Melisandre.
Alive.
Alive, yeah. Jorah Mormont.
Wait.
Jorah?
Oh, Jeor Mormont.
Jorah.
Daddy Mormont. Dead.
Oh, okay, right.
The way you say it sounds like Jorah.
So, yeah, sorry, yeah. Was that Lord Mormont's first name?
Yeah.
Oh, they have weird names. All right. Bronn.
Alive.
Varys.
Alive.
Shay.
Dead.
And killed in a very frustrating way, considering the way they adapted the character. Should do an episode on that. Marjorie Tyrell. Dead. Bloated up. Tywin Lannister. Dead on toilet.
Dead via crossbow.
Dead via Cotter on toilet. I feel the toilet's important. I don't know who this is.
Oh, that's Rob's wife, Talisa McGarr.
Oh, okay, yeah, she dead. Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Ygritte.
Dead.
Died of Jon Snow knowing nothing. Gendry.
Alive.
Tormund Giantsbane.
Somehow alive.
Somehow alive. Now,
somehow alive.
I was sure that this season would start with him like half buried in the snow, going, "I'll take you all on, you White Walkers," and just get stabbed.
No, he just rides a bear.
Something like. Well, considering what he did to bears in the book, I don't think they're going to be keen to come to his rescue.
No, I guess not.
So yeah, he is alive, and like I said, I assumed that he was just going to be dead in like the first 5 minutes of the next season, but according to the trailer, he makes it at least to Castle Black or somewhere made of stone.
Based on the fact that both him and Beric are with Ed, who was last seen at Castle Black, I'm guessing they have at least made it to Castle Black.
Okay, Brienne of Tarth. Alive, and she's my favourite. Ramsay Bolton. Dead. Eaten by dogs.
I was going to say dead via irony.
Gilly.
Alive.
Who's Gilly?
Sam's girlfriend.
Oh, okay, she alive.
Yeah.
Dario Naharis.
Alive, but not important anymore.
Who's Dario?
The person that Danny was banging in Essos.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Alive, but unnecessary.
Alive, but dumped.
Alive, but unnecessary.
Mrs. Cindy?
Missandei.
I thought we already covered her.
No, that's Melisandre.
Oh my goodness, these names. Okay.
Missandei's the Danny's like right-hand lady with the cool hair.
Okay, she cool. Okay. Ilara Sand.
Dead. Presumed dead.
Was she the one in the basement?
Yes.
Oh.
Presumed dead, probably dead by now.
Tommen Baratheon.
Dead.
Jaqen H'ghar.
Alive but unnecessary, probably.
Yeah, I think he's out.
There's like several plot points that are just like, we're good.
So we think Dario and Jaqen are both out of the show. Even
Oh,
if
yes.
they're not
No,
dead.
I don't expect Jaqen to show up at all.
Okay. Roose Bolton.
Dead.
Dead. Stabbed. The High Sparrow.
Dead.
Loaded up. Grand Maester Pycelle.
Dead.
Stabbed by children.
Yeah, always good.
Embarrassing way to go. Meryn Trent.
Dead.
Trent. Dead.
Dead.
Oh, Hodor.
Dead.
Gren.
Dead. He's one of the Night Watch guys.
Okay. Osha.
Dead.
Oh yeah, she got stabbed in the neck, didn't she? Poor Osha.
Yep.
It was such an anticlimactic end for someone who's been around since season 1.
There's a lot of people like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks. I liked her a lot. Rickon Stark.
Dead.
Dead. Ros.
Dead.
Ooh, yeah.
My favorite.
Tortured to death by
Yeah.
Joffrey.
Yeah, one of those moments when I went, this show has a thing for violence against women sometimes. Because it's one thing if it was in the book, and they're just like, well, it was in the book.
Yeah, Ross didn't even
But
exist in the book.
then they're like, no.
There's not a scene where she...
No, we're gonna have her be naked but also dead.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But
yeah.
Gregor Clegane, the Mountain.
Alive, technically, yes.
Yeah, something freaky going on with him. Janos Slynt, he dead.
Dead.
His head chopped off. Lysel Lannister.
Lancel.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Dead.
Blowed up. Marcella Baratheon.
Dead.
Dead. Blowed up. Roderick
No,
Cassell.
Iron. That was poison. Yeah, Ilaria Sand.
Oh, that one, right. Roderick Cassell. I don't remember who he is. I think we're into minor characters.
Oh, I think that's Sir Roderick from Winterfell. He got chopped off.
Oh yeah,
by
he got killed
Theon.
by Theon. Yep. Maester Lewin.
Dead.
Dead.
Eerie
dead. Dora.
Doria, the other handmaiden, is dead. They
Dead.
left her in the.
Kevin Lannister. Dead.
Dead.
Barristan Selmy. Dead. Rast. Dead. Maester Aemon.
Dead.
Dead. Died of old age.
Yeah.
Weird way to go in Game of Thrones.
You know, for a Targaryen, that's actually pretty good.
How do you say his name?
Pypar? I don't know who that is. He must not be relevant.
Let's assume he's dead.
Yeah.
Alistair Thorne.
Dead.
Oh yeah, hanged.
Yeah.
Orthel Uric.
I don't know. There's a lot of minor characters.
Loras Tyrell. Loras Tyrell. He's dead.
He's dead.
Hot Pie. Not
Alive!
alive, but probably not important.
Probably
enough to come
not
back.
important now.
Getting to the end now, guys.
I bet you if there's a wedding, he will like do the catering for it.
Just this happy ending, Jon and Dany getting married after coming to terms with the incest, and then suddenly Hot Pie's like, Hot Pie's for everyone!
But you saw how much he improved with the direwolf bread, like,
Yeah.
maybe.
Derek Dondarrion.
Beric Dondarrion.
Oh, is that...
Technically alive.
Okay.
Probably gonna die.
Wait, his name was Beric this whole time? I've been calling him Derek.
Yeah, it's Beric.
Whoops. Podrick Payne.
Alive!
Alive and still well endowed.
Please.
Edison Toilet?
I feel like you looked up a weird name that I don't know who that is.
Who that
Oh
is?
wait, no, that's Ed. That's now the head of the Night's Watch. That's what
right.
Ed's full proper name is. They just call him oh god, what do they call him in the book? It's Dolores Ed. They call him Dolores Ed.
Oh yeah,
Dolores
they're saying that in
Ed.
the chat, sorry.
Thank you, because it's a
Dolores Ed because
Dolores
he's an
Ed.
idiot.
Yes, but that is his proper name.
Right. Okay.
So he is alive.
They sort of switched that character around
Thank
a bit,
you.
didn't they? Yara Greyjoy.
For now, alive.
Alive, but I don't want to know what's happening to her, poor thing.
Yeah.
Celise Florent.
Dead. That's Stannis' wife.
Little Sam.
Alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Grey Worm. Alive.
Alive.
Qyburn.
Alive.
Olenna Tyrell.
Died via cool sunglasses death.
Oh, right, deal with it. I want Cersei to know it was me.
It was me. There's like a
I'm a badass bitch.
There's like a Saved by the Bell sort of shirt with her wearing like the sunglasses and like the bright colors, and no, I want her to know it was me. And It's
Nice.
just such a good shirt. I want it.
Shireen Baratheon.
Dead.
Good. Mara Reed.
Unimportant.
So we think she's out the show?
Yeah, no, she's confirmed she's out of the show.
Aww.
Yeah, that
Well, I'm
pissed me
glad
off.
she lived, but I like the character.
Yeah. Kind of sucks that she's just brought along everything bad happens to her, and then Bran's just like, well, bye.
Yeah. It's basically how Littlefinger went, just less violent. It's like, we don't know what to do with this character, so bye.
Yeah, I guess.
Shame. Jon Reed.
Jojen Reed.
Dead. He dead. Thoros of Myr. He dead.
Dead.
Killed by a giant bear. That's pretty badass. Euron Royce.
He's alive. That is the guy from the Vale who hates Littlefinger.
Okay, yeah, he might stick around.
He's still alive for now, but
he's probably just gonna get like a we'll come back to who's gonna die.
He's probably like he's just the one person there to be like your stand-in for the Knights of the Vale now that Littlefinger's here.
Right,
Littlefinger's gone because Sweet Robin is still at the Vale.
He needs to sit there and be stodgy. Work with wildlings? Well, I never.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Ollie, he dead.
Yep.
Hanged. Mace Tyrell.
Dead.
The Waif.
Dead.
Bowen Marsh.
Dead.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, who is he?
One of the knights. I can't remember which one.
Fair enough. Okay, well that's all I had on the list.
Those are the major ones.
Those are the major ones. Yeah, there's a couple of them.
There's a lot of like minor characters still like hanging about.
Yep.
But those are the big ones.
Okay, so now we get on to predictions. So before we get on to who's going to live and who's going to die, do you have any sort of general predictions?
I don't think it's going to end with the Night King winning.
Okay.
So I think it's not going to be a total like apocalypse.
Didn't George Martin basically say like you're not going to like the ending?
He said it was bittersweet. He didn't say it was a bad ending.
So
he just said it's going to be bittersweet. So I doubt that would be.
They might save Westeros, but everyone you like's going to die.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you think they're going to do that in the show?
Euron Greyjoy. We did not mention Euron Greyjoy.
Okay, yeah.
I bet you this list is only from so many seasons. So like, there's a lot of last minute people who didn't get thrown in there, like Sam's family who were dead. Yeah, Euron's still alive.
Yeah, if we went through literally every character, we would be here all day. The big thing that we've been discussing is who is going to be the final boss? Is it going to be the Night King or is it going to be Cersei? I'm
really mad because the fact that Cersei's still alive suggests that is very much a possibility. Because they've been setting up the idea of, yes, big bad apocalypse is bad, but then the aftermath, if we manage to live, is also bad. So I will not be surprised if Cersei is the big bad at the end.
I feel like they have to make the Night King the final big bad because that was the intro to the show, the prologue, the bit with Beyond the Wall. And
but that was based on the books.
Yeah,
that was based on the books, darling.
It would annoy me so much if he wasn't the final battle because he's been the overarching threat all the way through this, and I get that Cersei is a way more interesting character. But
fair enough.
It would ruin all of the symbolism of all the show and the book if they don't end with the battle for the dawn.
Oh no, the show ruining symbolism. If only.
Yeah. Is that the Ice Guy? Yes, the Night King is the Ice Guy.
Yeah, the Night King, not the Night's King.
By the way, sorry, we can't promise to be able to keep an eye on the entire chat, but if you put something in Super Chat, we'll definitely get to it.
Yeah, because it's going to be going by pretty quickly, so we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I personally don't think they're gonna end with Cersei as big bad. I'm also not gonna be surprised if they do. is my thing, because like last season when we were watching it, I basically said, okay, here's what they should do to have it actually be good, but here's what I think they're going to do, and 99% of the time that's what they did.
Yeah, watching season 7 with her was interesting because she basically called the entire plot.
Basically the entire thing, and he's here to prove it because I texted him and I was just like, no, this is what's gonna fucking happen. This is how it's gonna go down. The only thing that was a bit of a surprise was the lack of death. Honestly,
yes.
Like,
the only
time that I got stuff wrong is when I thought people were super definitely going to die.
Yeah, she predicted like an absolute character bloodbath with the trip beyond the wall that Jon led. Like, she was saying, okay, Mormont's useless, he's gone, we're probably going to lose Tormund, we're probably going to lose the Hound. She pretty much said all the characters who have finished their story arc.
Basically. Like, the Hound was the one I actually thought might live, because he still needed to get back to Winterfell to get back to the Stark Girls.
Oh, right, Clegane Bowl.
But I honestly thought Beric was going to be the way that Jon came back. Like, I assumed that Beric was going to sacrifice himself to bring Jon back again, because he's also... Oh, wait, no. I don't know if Beric can do it, because Thoros is technically the one who brings him back. But in the books, Beric is the one who gives his life to bring back Catelyn Stark.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was because Thoros was also there, or if it was just Beric being able to, like, life for life sort of situation. So now that Thoros is dead, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But at the time, I just assumed that because Thoros and Beric were both there, that they were going to combine their efforts to bring him back. But then only Thoros died.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that Jorah had made it as long as he did. I thought he'd get a moment maybe with Dany, but I thought he would fucking die. And he didn't. And I am shocked.
Yeah. I'm gonna write every time I see something fairly interesting in the chat that I don't want to waylay the thing. I'm gonna write it down.
Fair
Tyrion
enough.
equals Targaryen. Yes or no? We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Do you think Jaime's going to kill Cersei? In the books, definitely. In the show, I don't think so. They've not played up that the frog prophecy.
Maggie the Frog.
Maggie the Frog.
Yeah,
prophecy.
they've not mentioned the Valonqar at all in the show. They've mentioned the other parts, but did they mentioned the you'll marry the king, not the prince.
Yeah, they did
You'll
that
have
bit, but
3 children.
they didn't do the your brother will kill you thing.
No, but but they also did the younger, more beautiful queen, right? They did,
no, I don't think
they do that.
Did
line?
they do that?
I think.
Tell me in the chat. Anyone remembers that episode from what was it? Season 6, season 5? 5, where young Cersei. It's like the only flashback they decide to do to childhood. When young Cersei goes to see the soothsayer, does she say that you'll marry the?
I remember the children part, marry the king part, and I'm pretty sure she did the part with a younger, more beautiful queen will be the one to bring you down. The only thing they didn't include was the Valonqar.
Okay, the chat seems to believe that yes, they did. The only
part is the Valonqar that they kept out, which was, I guess they just did that on the off chance that something happened and they needed to adjust it. But the thing with the Valonqar is it literally just means little sibling. It could be a girl, it could be a guy, it could be her sibling, it could be somebody else's sibling.
Okay. So
a lot of people are thinking that Arya will go to King's Landing and murder Cersei.
I mean, that would be satisfying. I feel like Arya has done her this is the payoff to all my training thing when she killed off like House Frey.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't feel like I kind of feel she's kind of an unnecessary character now. I hate to say it, but I can't. Aside from the fact that she's basically the Terminator.
I don't care for Arya very much.
You
can't
say that.
I don't care.
The internet will rise up and destroy us.
I don't care for her.
Yeah, all right.
I think it would make sense because Jaime's going to go to Winterfell and be like, hey, remember that thing we said we'd do? Turns out my sister's a liar.
Again, I'm going to be so pissed off if he's left the Lannister army behind. If he's just coming with himself and fucking Widow's Wail. I mean, okay, one extra Valyrian steel sword is good, but he's head of House Lannister. The armies would follow him. They have no reason to follow Cersei. If he left just on his own, he's the biggest fucking idiot in all of Westeros.
Well, I mean, the problem is we know that we've seen the trailer. We know that a battle takes place at Winterfell. We know that happens. It's just a matter of when it happens. So my thought is like, well, maybe he goes to Winterfell and then Arya's like, aha, a chance for me to be useful. I'm gonna go murder Cersei. And then maybe like I can then get the army to go back up to Winterfell and she can use her face or something. Like I think that would be really fascinating if Arya gets to use her weird face magic to be Cersei. I think that would be really cool.
Okay, here's an interesting question. Based sort of on the idea that Dany's going to die. Because they say that the dragons and the White Walkers are both sort of two sides of the same coin. They both represent magic with fire and ice.
Right.
So if the Night King is to die, can the dragon survive without him? Do you think the inevitable end of the show is going to involve losing the dragons and the White Walkers? And Dany by
okay. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the dragons all die in some form or another, or like when the Night King dies, somehow they die out. But the dragons came to Westeros. So they already existed pre-Night King.
That's true. So I guess the Night King's never really left, has he? He's been around since time immortal. It's just the dragons that fucked off. Yeah. So they don't necessarily rely on each other for existence,
I don't think the dragons would die if the Night King dies, if we're going by the book.
But I mean, I just think symbolically, I know the show is not as symbolic as the book, but I think the likelihood is that everything, even remotely interesting and magical, will be dead by the end, and that Westeros will become more like a normal place. With normal seasons, hopefully.
We had
super chat.
Hang on one second. It's from Kat. Thank you. Spoilers.
Everything about this stream is spoilers.
Everything
you shouldn't be
spoilers.
here if you're afraid of spoilers.
What do you think of the show's removal of Lady Stoneheart plot? Do you think another plot has sort of taken its place? Also, hi. Hello.
They looked like briefly that they were bringing the Hound in to kind of do a bit of her thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Because he was going on a revenge tirade.
There is that whole episode where he's by a river, and the entire time I'm thinking, oh my god, are they actually going to do?
Yeah, because he's with Beric Dondarrion. It's too long though. This is the in-joke you have with your friends, because by that point she would have been a skeleton.
Well,
so.
When we were watching that episode, I was with my friends, and my friends just kept joking. It's like, as long as it's a skeleton, it doesn't matter, just skeletons.
So just in case there's anyone confused by this, in the books, when Catelyn Stark was killed at the Red Wedding, they threw her body into the river and it floated downstream. Mm-hmm. And Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr came across it, and Beric was like, "This, she's more important than me. Bring her back." So Thoros of Myr transfers his life returning energy or something.
He basically, because he was resurrected, he gives that power to Catelyn and basically has Thoros transfer it from him to her.
So Catelyn comes back, but she is super different. She is basically a crazy half zombie of pure revenge.
She can't talk.
She can't talk, but how does she direct the army then? But she basically takes over leading the Brotherhood of Banners, and she is hardcore tracking down the Freys and the Lannisters and killing the shit out of them.
There's also a little bit of interesting symbolism, because the way that her body is found is because Nymeria pulls her from the river.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But yes, I'm not 100% surprised that they didn't do it, because basically the reason they said that they didn't do it is because it would give away the whole bring back Jon Snow. Even though everyone knew it was going to happen, they were like, no, we can't establish the fact that people can be resurrected, because then Jon Snow's death looks stupid. And it's just sort of like it would be too obvious, except everyone was like, well, he's coming back. We know he's coming back. Any book reader worth, knows, yeah, he's fine. Melisandre's right the fuck there. It'll be fine. Hey, it was fine.
Technically, because it bothers me that Jon isn't technically back in the books. So.
Well, the books have ended right after his stab.
Yeah, so. Was it you who told me the theory that he may have warged into snow, so he may be living as a direwolf for the rest of... Ghost, sorry, yeah. He warged into... Because all the Starks, anyone with Stark blood can warg in the book, so it's possible he's basically going to be fucking Scooby-Doo for the rest of the... He's going to be living as a half-wolf, half-man, sharing his body with...
I think the idea mostly is just that his consciousness is in the wolf, and that allows Melisandre to be able to bring him back. And so that way he just pops over.
That makes sense, actually, yeah. I like that.
Because then I feel like that would give him full control of his faculties, because you know how when everyone comes back, there's a piece of them that's gone. If Jon technically never left, if he had just been in Ghost, then I think he, obviously he's going to be a bit, stabbed, but I think he'll be okay.
Is Dany Arya's aunt or cousin by law? Neither, I don't think.
Unless they get married.
Yeah, if she gets married to... Well, no, that's also... I don't think cousin-in-law is a thing, because she's only related to Jon via his father.
They would be cousins a billion times removed, basically, if you want to connect them back.
Really?
Because Jon is Arya's cousin, and Jon is Dany's nephew, so... There is a triangulation there, family tree-wise, but it's so many things removed.
Okay, we got a super chat.
From Cartoon Kelly, Briana. If he was Scooby-Doo.
Oh, right. Oh, I get it. Yep. Sorry, we're being a bit slow today.
Sorry, Briana Rari.
So do we think they're gonna say Tyrion is a Targaryen because the dragons didn't eat him? I don't
know.
There's a chance they might have done it in the book. As soon as Viserion, the dragon, died, I think that plot line was definitely dropped, because they don't need 3 riders now.
No. And honestly, it's if there was any inclination, that Tyrion wasn't Tywin's son, there was no fucking way he would have kept him around. Tywin's not an idiot.
Yeah, Tywin was desperate to disinherit
As much as people want to believe that, I honestly don't see that happening, because Tywin kept Tyrion around. Maybe because he's technically his wife's child, I can sort of see it, but if he was conceived via, presumably, rape, if it was the king, and then also was the one who caused his wife's death, he wouldn't fucking keep him around unless she also had like a promise me Tywin or something.
Yeah,
which would be super weird.
I think he would. I think if that's the case, he would have at least have rubbed it in his face. Like especially when Tyrion was trying to make a claim on Casterly Rock, he would have said, "Nah, shut up, you're adopted."
I don't think they have, at least not in the show. They've not taken the time to establish that, and it's way too late at this point. They're just gonna have it be. He likes the dragons. They're cool.
I think, the dragons, I think, were just intelligent enough to know that he was there to set them free. I think that's what that was showing, is that the dragons weren't animals. They are capable of reason. Like,
someone's just saying, Kylie Winchester, if any of Tywin's children were going to be, it would be Jaime and Cersei. That I can believe, honestly, a lot more than Tyrion, because they make so many points to say that Tyrion truly is Tywin's son, both in name and wit. Like, he has his intelligence and his...
I mean, all the Lannister children are freakishly intelligent. It's
no,
just that Jaime's
but Cersei definitely has some Mad King qualities about her.
That's true, actually. She's actually very Mad King-like.
That's why, like, honestly, like, I can see that being a thing. That makes more sense than Tyrion. Tyrion definitely doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of Cersei. That makes a fucking lot of sense, because she followed in her daddy's footsteps in blowing up King's Landing.
And, fucking her brother. Targaryen heritage.
That's very Targaryen. All right, I like it. Well, I mean,
it's much more believable.
Right, but they are twins, so Jaime would have to be
He would also have to be
too.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll establish that in the show, but if there is going to be actually Tywin's children are Targaryens, then it would make more sense for Cersei and Jaime.
Ah.
Oh, we have another super chat.
Oh, yay.
From Kat, Sansa is most definitely my favorite character, but I was wondering what your take and predictions are for her. I also wanted to say I love you both.
Aww, we love you too, Kat.
Thank you. Sansa is also my favorite character, which has earned me so much scorn up until season 5, because everyone's like, Sansa's the worst. She's annoying. I don't like her.
Yes, mock your audience, Calluna. That's
just saying. That's what everyone fucking hated her until she's like, I am super awesome and manipulative now. It's like,
no, she's the same as Arya. It's like, okay, so Arya spent a month learning with both staffs, so she's a ninja now. She's a swordswoman.
I feel really bad.
Sansa's like, okay, so Sansa was held captive by Cersei and then raped by Ramsay, so now she's Cersei now. She's a kick-ass queen. It's like, I just don't see the A to B there. I like that there's character development. I like these characters have come into their own now. But I don't see how that works.
The problem is the show likes to believe that women committing violence means that they're a powerful character, which is why all the sand snakes are an issue. Just saying, that's what their view is. Oh yeah, we're powerful because we can fight and we can murder.
We should do a crossover episode called The Problem with Sand Snakes.
Yeah, problem. But yeah, for Sansa, I feel really bad because she reunites with all her fucking siblings, and then she's got Jon resurrected, gotta fight the Night King, Bran's got super psychic powers, Arya's a ninja, and she's just like, okay, alright.
Okay, I've gotta figure out my thing.
Alright.
Yeah, you guys are giving me a lot. You're giving me a lot to work with, guys. Yeah, it's like if you go home to a family reunion, you're the only one who hasn't developed superpowers. It's like fucking Umbrella Academy over here.
Don't spoil that. We're still watching that.
Don't you?
But as for Sansa, I see her living, mostly just because I don't see why she would. Like, I'm just failing to see why she would die. I know some people are like, oh, maybe she's actually gonna fight in the battle. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe. But I think it makes sense that she ends up being like an advisor kind of figure to either Dany or Jon, depending on how the dice roll, or depending on how Dany and Jon work out. I would say she might also end up being the Warden of the North along with Arya or something, just because they have to continue. There always has to be a Stark in Winterfell. So, yeah. And especially now that Jon's been proven to be the heir to the Iron Throne, either him or Dany will
depending on.
Yeah. So I see her living. Mostly just because she's the one normal person. Like, she's the one normal person who can be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go hide. Y'all have fun. Bye. Yeah. Like, she's not a fighter. That's not her role. That's not what she's there to do. So I can see her living. If she dies, I won't be surprised, because, like, if, like, the place is, like, taken over or whatever.
I
But
would be
I just
very.
think it makes-
I would be so pissed off if Sansa dies. 'cause
Like,
she-
after everything she's fucking been through.
let that poor girl survive. Jesus.
Like, I just want her to be like, dude, I fucking dealt with Joffrey and Ramsay. Ice zombies, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck them ice zombies.
I had to deal with the Lannisters and the Boltons. Y'all can go screw yourself.
Okay, so pregnant Dany, yes or no?
Absolutely. Whether or not it lives is another thing. But she's absolutely fucking pregnant because they wouldn't have fucking brought it up in the
I
last
can never get
season.
pregnant. Are you sure? Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, if that's a red
Maybe
herring,
you just
that's
haven't met the right guy yet.
It's such. Aww,
I know.
that's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what they did.
Dario just wasn't doing it right.
He didn't have a magical cock.
Didn't have a magical. Didn't have Jon Snow cock. That's the problem.
What would happen if Dany banged Podrick?
Yeah, no, that's my new dream shit. Dany and Podrick. Actually, my dream shit is Podrick and Gendry for some reason. I'm not sure why. I just want those two to bang.
Weirdly enough, I kind of want Podrick and Sansa to end up together. If not her.
Podrick and Sansa.
Because he's been there for a lot of, like, what she's been through, because he was with Tyrion when she was still married.
Have they spoken or looked at each other?
They've
Does she
had
know
some
he exists?
conversation. Like, Podrick has been the reason that Brienne was able to find Sansa in the first place. He's been able to track her because he knows
Right,
where
he
she's
was
going.
there when Brienne rescued her. Right.
Like, and honestly, like, Pod's a nice dude. He doesn't give a shit about, like, marriages. He just wants to be a good, honorable dude. And Brienne could vouch for him. So if he ends up with Sansa, I'd be pretty happy with that, honestly. Because, like, two nice people together, that'd be great.
So, I mean, are we shipping Dany and Jon? They would be.
Dany with anyone is problematic.
Politically, it makes a lot of sense. He can go off and be king of the north. She can be king in the south. Their marriage would unite all of Westeros, assuming there's any Westeros left to unite. The incest thing is an issue. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't want to marry my aunt.
I mean, it's happened before in Targaryen Legacy.
Yeah,
so
Targaryens are all down with it.
No, there is specifically an instance where a niece marries her uncle.
Yeah, I mean,
Way back in the day.
you were going to do that sketch one point. This is years ago. It's like you told me about the sketchy idea you had when we first met at Con Bravo, where you said you were going to do the Bachelorette, but with
Yeah.
Daenerys, and she only gets interested in Jon when she finds out that they're related.
Yeah, I had an idea that she'd be in a hot tub, and then you just see a hand sticking out because it's too hot, and she can be the one to be in the fire for too long.
Oh, it's a shame we didn't get that together in time. That would be funny. But...
Yeah, I didn't have time to like get a wig or anything, and if I couldn't get the wig, that was sort of pointless.
Oh, super chat.
Sir Laszlo the Great. Sorry, it's hard to read it. Hey, do you think Cersei Lannister will become a White Walker, not a White? Ah, that's interesting.
Can you make White Walkers out of not babies? It's never really established. I mean, if the Night King does the thing, he might be able to make you a proper White Walker, but why would he want to?
Well, they never... I don't know. I mean, no offense to Cersei, but why would he bother?
Yeah, I mean,
Why would he bother?
she's a great character. I love the actress.
No, yes, but to the Night King, never seen her.
Yeah, he's never
Doesn't
met
know-
her. He doesn't give it. All humans are vermin to him. He's just wants them dead or his army.
I can't see that working out. Mostly just because one, we've not seen that be a precedent. Because theoretically, if you could do that to anybody who's alive, why haven't they? There were plenty of times where he could have done that, and he didn't.
They point out that Viserion wasn't a baby, but he also wasn't made into a White Walker. I'm pretty sure he's just a dragon, right?
Yeah, he's just a dragon white. He's
yeah.
just also a dragon.
Yeah, I mean,
He gets fire.
The rules to anything don't apply to dragons.
Yeah,
but
he's a magical creature. He's not. He's very much a white, right? Or wait, no, because his eyes turned blue.
Yeah, but the whites.
Do the whites?
Yeah, the
turn blue?
whites.
Okay,
eyes
never
turn
mind.
blue.
Then.
Yeah,
the whites
he's
also
just been
turn
made into a zombie like all the other thralls.
He just also can breathe magical ice fire.
Yeah, so good for him.
How does he fly with all those holes in his wings?
Well, yeah. I mean, how do the horses run with all their muscles gone, bones showing out? It's zombie
Magic.
power. Yeah, exactly, magic.
Yeah.
But so are we saying Cersei's preggers or not, based on the fact that she was having a drinky drink?
Because the show showed us that Tyrion figured out she was pregnant via not drinking wine, that has to be a rule within Westeros that if you're pregnant, you don't drink. So, if she's drinking, either 1, she's had a miscarriage, or 2, she was never pregnant in the first place and was only doing that to make Jaime and Tyrion sympathize with her.
Yeah. Super chat.
From Galar. Cersei lives, but her child is a dwarf. That would be the ultimate irony.
I don't think the show's got 9 months left in it, to be honest.
I can't see... Well, it depends on what they... Like, she might use that to her advantage. If she's alive, and she's actually pregnant, there are instances where they won't kill somebody to allow the child to live, to allow her to go to term. I just don't see that happening. It'd be really interesting.
I think she's either going to miscarriage or she was never pregnant.
Yeah, because she can't have another child.
I don't think she would drink while pregnant, because in this show, at least, Cersei is very mother lioness.
The thing is, the show kind of fucked up because they had that extra thing where she said she had a baby.
Right, she's already broken the prophecy.
They established that wasn't her just bullshitting. Like, her and Robert actually have a conversation about it. So it wasn't just her bullshitting Catelyn.
Yeah.
So, but that was when they said they weren't going to do the 3 things that they ended up doing because they're idiots. They said they would not do flashbacks, they said they would not do dream sequences, and they said they would not do visions. And they've done all of them.
They reneged on all those things because they are super integral to the plot of the books.
That's the problem. Like, particularly, like, not necessarily to the plot of the books, but integral to a character's arc. Like, Cersei's growing paranoia due to the prophecy when we see things from her perspective once we get to Feast for Crows. Really necessary. Thing is, I don't see why it's in the show. Like, why bother putting it in the show? Because all it is just that, I don't think it makes any sense for her to, the whole point of putting that prophecy in is it was the beginning of season 5. And it was when she was trying to start her plan of working with the High Sparrow to try to take down Marjorie, because she saw Marjorie as the more beautiful queen to take her down. Here's the thing. You didn't need that. She was already going to do that.
She was already
going to. There was already motivation for that.
The person banging her son and being sassy to her was always going to make it onto her shit list.
Yeah, I don't see, so I'm guessing the reason they had that in there is to...
It was around when D and W were starting to lose their edge, I think.
That was about the time when they were starting to run out of book material to work with, so they had to kind of renege on a lot of it.
So that's, I'm not sure. Oh, super chat.
Ooh, yes. Sorry if we hit the mic. Grey Morality. Do you think the Hound will get revenge on his brother, or does it not matter anymore? It doesn't fucking matter
I think
anymore.
It doesn't matter, but I do think yes. I do think there is going to be a Clegane Bowl, because they've set it up too hard. They're their hands are tied at this point. They get all since season 1. Again, they reminded us about it in season 7. He went and looked up and was like, "I'm gonna be the one to kill you, brother, because I'm the Hound."
Well.
So
here's the thing, though.
They're insane.
Cersei will never have the Hound, or never have the Mountain leave her. So then, how the fuck is the Hound going to fight him? He's going to have to go back to King's Landing then. Maybe
Cersei's going to do like a lead from the back of their army sort of thing, plot convenience.
If she's an idiot if she leaves King's Landing.
Or maybe she is going to send him to lead their armies. I mean, what generals does she have left?
Just because we haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist.
True,
but.
I guess the Golden Company will have its own commando, won't it?
That's fair, yeah. Euron and the Golden Company. There is a name for the character. I just don't remember, but he's just the head of the Golden Company in the books.
Because you see him standing on the prow of the ship with his falchion or scimitar, or whatever it is.
Yes, but I don't know. I think they're playing with that expectation, knowing that people want it, but I don't think they're actually going to do it. The only thing is, if everyone fucking goes back to King's Landing at the end and is like, "Bitch, where were you? We're gonna kill you now." That might be the way they end it. It might be super anticlimactic.
You think she might be
even if she may not be the main villain, but she just might be the denouement.
I would love it if Euron was actually I was kind of freaked out by those zombies. I'm coming to join that army with the Golden Company. That would be hilarious.
I don't see that happening, but because he's kind of nuts. But
he is kind of nuts. That does make him unpredictable.
He wants to try to summon Krakens in the book.
Yeah, well, that's fairly not that unusual. Occasionally you see Krakens eating whales and shit.
Yeah, but he wants to summon some fucking deep ones.
Oh, okay, like Cthulhu-sized ones.
Oh yeah, No, yeah. Martin's a huge fan of Lovecraft, and there's like a lot of side stuff that he's done. Another Game of Thrones video producer, Altship X, did a whole thing about like some of the like side islands and shit that are all super Lovecraftian. I've not read a lot of the side stuff, but it's in like the big book of history, and like if you look at it, a lot of it is very Lovecraftian in nature. And there's a lot of ties to, what's the one you read? The fishy people one.
Innsmouth.
Innsmouth, yeah.
No, that's not the name of the book.
I don't remember the book, but that's
something Innsmouth.
Yeah, but like that legend with the deep ones in the water and shit. There's lots of stuff dealing with that in the like supplemental material. It's really interesting. It's really cool to read.
Okay.
But yeah, the deep ones. Yeah. But yeah. Got anything else?
I'm trying to think.
You wrote down stuff, so that's what I was.
Okay, well, do you want to play Will They Live?
Just very quickly.
Very quickly. All right, Jaime Lannister. I'm going to say no.
No, probably not.
Okay, we don't think Jaime Lannister is going to live.
No, I do not.
Cersei Lannister.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Daenerys Targaryen. I think in her case, it's going to be a her or Jon, not
That's
both.
the thing. Like, I don't think both of them will live. I think
which is a shame because, again, aside from the icky incest, they would make a good alliance. Those two.
I mean, I personally see her living more than Jon.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay. I think he'll be so mean to kill off Jon twice.
That would be mean.
Yeah. Give him the Trinity treatment.
Mm-hmm. We have a super chat, by the way.
Cartoon Kelly, what's your favourite type of cookie? Double, like chocolate, but with also chocolate chips, like the kind you used to be able to get from like Sayers and stuff. Greg's.
I really like chocolate chip cookies, but my like favorite specific cookie is the s'mores cookie that you can get from the Barnes & Noble Starbucks bakery. Specifically, it's not at Starbucks. It's only at Barnes & Noble's Starbucks.
That's so specific.
I know. But it's a big, giant
We're going to answer that because it's super chat, but let's keep this Game of Thrones related.
Yeah.
Jorah Mormont.
No, die. He's going to die.
He's going to be super dead.
Well, I mean, at this point...
I mean, what's left for Captain Friendzone to do in this?
I don't know. Dany seemed pretty interested in him until Jon came along.
Yeah, but no, she's interested in him because she loves him as a friend. That doesn't mean... I mean, he's got nothing left to contribute to the plot.
Yeah.
He's gonna maybe... I mean...
I can see him being her what's the word? Like the one she settles with if Jon dies. Like to raise her child.
Oh, what the... I don't know.
I
feel like I'm getting into slightly dodgy territory here. So.
I don't think he's gonna live.
Jon Snow.
Die. I think he's gonna die.
I think he's gonna live. I think Jon's gonna... I hope Jon's gonna live.
That's the thing. Like, it's either Dany or Jon.
Yeah. So I'll put him down, as I said. Dany or Jon, probably not both.
Yeah, it's 50-50 for them.
Sansa Stark.
I think she's going to live, and I'm hoping my hopes are true.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good super chat. Jonas Saltz, what will Tyrion's role be? Because that is interesting, because I think the last one is they're kind of done with the political intrigue. It's mostly just going to be military for the last season. And Tyrion doesn't really have a big role in that. I mean, he did do well in the Battle of the Blackwater, but he was good at trickery. He's shown in season 7 that he has no fucking clue what he's doing via strategy. No. Which is why he almost basically wasted Dany's huge advantages right at the start. Because I think that's why they killed off Barristan Selmy, because he actually had a lot of knowledge of strategy, and they needed to nerf Dany's abilities. So it's like, okay, we have to kill off her only good general. Because Grey Worm is good as a battle commander, but he's got no concept of strategy. Because
he's good at taking orders. He's not good at
exactly because the Unsullied were never trained to think like that. So Selmy was the only person who really had a realistic chance of strategizing for her. So then it fell to Tyrion, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was outsmarted by Jaime over and over again. So I genuinely don't know what they're going to do. He's such a popular character. They're going to want to give him a big role, but what the fuck could he possibly contribute?
Oh, I have a very good idea.
Oh, do tell.
So the other thing that Tyrion's known for is reading.
You think he's going to be a bookworm for the final season?
I think he's going to work together with Sam and Bran to try and use Bran's random psychic powers to try and go back in time to specific moments to try to find some weaknesses.
I mean, that's a good...
Because, like, Bran's basically the internet with no... And he needs somebody to insert the right Google search.
That's a good job for him for maybe an episode.
Yeah.
That's not a season.
I think he's going to be very good at keeping everybody together. I think he's going to help some research to try and defeat the Night King. I think he and Sansa are going to try to work together in keeping everybody from fucking murdering each other. Because I think he, along with Sansa and a couple other characters, are very much in the, yes, this is really important and we want to live, but we also need to be prepared in case we do live. I think he's going to work with her with that, personally.
Someone's saying, why should... we will come back to the super in just to check, and it's like, why should Daenerys marry Jon and give up everything that is hers? I think it would just make it easier to unite Westeros. There's going to be a lot of resentment from the north.
She was already knowing that she was probably going to have some sort of, like...
Jon is probably the most powerful person in Westeros currently. He's got the north behind him. The Vale has sworn to following his lead. I mean, the Lannisters are...
Plus, if they save the realm, that's going to look real good to the populace.
Dany's friendly with the Tyrells. And
the remainder
the remainder of the... Oh, yeah, well, no, sorry, not the Tyrells. I meant the Sunspears.
Oh, the Martells.
Yeah, the Martells.
Also almost all dead.
So, yeah, a good point, actually. Anyway, I'm just saying, if they were to get married, she doesn't need to, because she would probably still be Queen of Westeros at the end of it. It would just... She needs to get married, because if she wants to be a stable queen, she needs to start procreating.
Absolutely.
And he would, again, aside, if they can get over the incest thing, he would probably be the most logical choice for securing the stability of Westeros. Again, I'm not rooting for incest marriage. I'm really not. I'm just saying from a strictly political standpoint.
No, honestly, once she finds out that Jon is her...
which is, I believe, is the next super chat.
Oh, is it? Oh, I see.
Lorenzo the Great. Laszlo the Great. What's the reaction you think Johnny and Dany would have...
Because they are related.
Because they're related. I know the actors are really grossed out by it.
You can tell because their acting is so wooden. They're really not very good at
I meant
interacting
in interviews
together.
and stuff. They've gone like, oh, I don't like it. No. So,
I think Dany's going to be troubled because now there's, for the first time, someone who has an equal claim to the throne. Up until this point, she's been working on the assumption that it's only been either her or Viserys, and then once Viserys died...
That's true. Birthright was a big part of her belief in her righteousness. Now, she's definitely earned the throne.
Yeah.
And I think as long as she has good advisors stopping her from going Mad King, and she has proven she's willing to listen to them, like her and Tyrion, I think she'd make a good queen, because she's very sort of ethically minded. She could be like, what's his name, the Unlikely? Egg the Unlikely?
Oh yeah. I think it makes more sense for them to be unified.
Yeah.
And once she realizes, hey, we were fucking anyway.
So yeah, she's more. I don't know, because she is not proud of her family, not what the Mad King does, and I believe that she knows that incest was a part of why they went mad. So I'm not sure she's going to be willing to but I mean, she may be pregnant already is the thing, because they bumped the uglies in the boat.
I legitimately don't see much problems happening. It's icky to us, a modern audience, and it's icky to some of the characters, but not all of them.
Admittedly, yeah.
So
if you go back
at this point, the fact that it's incest is sort of well, it's kind of par and parcel for the Targaryens, honestly.
I mean, if you look even back in real life history, the British royal family, you go back far enough that you see the family tree crosses over a disturbing amount of times.
Yeah.
It's never quite as far as brother marrying sister.
Because in terms of in terms of emotional, it's gross, but in terms of political, if anything, it's even better for her. Because now she has an incredibly stable claim to the throne, regardless, either through marriage or through her own birthright.
So I don't know if the show will get to the point where it becomes necessary, because they're going to say, let's put a pin in this until we've dealt with the Night King, and that may resolve the issue for them with unfortunate deaths.
Fair enough.
Super chat from Cartoon Kelly. You want to take this one?
Okay, Game of Thrones related. If Jon Snow were a cookie, what kind of cookie would he be? Any other characters that strike you as specific types of cookies? Cookie
Kelly,
theme today.
You're so funny.
If Jon was a cookie?
Okay, so he represents the ice. So he would be one of them frozen sandwich cookies.
Oh, I was going to say he was going to be like a mint chocolate chip cookie. Because then mint is cold.
No, I'm thinking one of them cookies you get from the freezer that has ice cream in the middle. Dany would be a warm chocolate brownie cookie.
Like a molten like fresh, like out of the oven.
Getting hungry now.
Great.
Let's see. The Hound would be a slightly burnt cookie that was in the oven too long.
Sansa would be a lemon cake cookie.
Ooh, lemon cakes. Sansa would be an incredibly overrated cookie. Not Sansa, sorry, Arya. Arya would be an incredibly overrated cookie, like a fucking Jaffa cake. It's not even a cookie. Fuck you.
Hey, I like Jaffa cake.
They're overrated.
Should you, for most of our American audience, do you want to say what that is?
It's like a cake that they sell as a biscuit. Hence the name.
It's
got jam in it.
It's orange and chocolate. So that's why you don't like it.
What else we got? Sansa would not Sansa. I keep saying Sansa when I mean literally every other character. Cersei would be a poisonous cookie.
Yeah, probably.
Jaime would be a cookie that you don't like at first but grows on you, like a digestive. No,
like a shortbread.
Like a shortbread. Yeah. At first you're just like, ugh. Oh no, it's awful. And then later on, it's like, you know what? I hope I get more of this shortbread. And
I feel like a shortbread cookie is one of those things that you like it as a baby, and then you hate it when you're a child, and then as an adult, you go, yeah. It's like a tea cookie.
Okay, I think that's as much effort as we should put onto that question. So. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. It's all cookie related. We've got a cookie.
No more cookie related because you're gonna make us hungry. Yeah. People ending up with each other. Do you think any coupling?
I'm hoping
other than all the ones we've already established.
I'm hoping they don't pair Sansa off with anyone right now. I know like Pod would make a nice safe thing.
Or her and Tyrion, honestly, for like political marriage. I honestly think it's not a terrible choice.
Are they technically still married? Or was the marriage annulled when he was deemed a traitor? Because she did get married.
I think both of them are pretty much like that happened. Like, I mean, the problem is Sansa then had the whole issue with the Boltons, so hard to say. I think if they want to be married again, they probably could be. But if they don't want to be married, then it's easy enough to be like, no.
Okay, they did. Also, the chat seems to say that they did have it annulled.
Well,
because apparently annulment is just a thing you can do in Westeros now.
Well, the thing is, just because it wasn't consummated, that means it means that it could be annulled.
Right.
The problem is, like, there was no. I don't know what the legal ramifications are because the whole thing with the fucking Boltons was a mess and just a show original.
Everything's kind of messed up.
But the thing is, they are building it from a plot of Littlefinger trying to get Sansa to be married to somebody else. And the fact that Tyrion is a traitor and they did not consummate the marriage means that no one would probably argue it.
Okay. Oh, by the way, we got straight from the thing. Theon Greyjoy, do you think he's going to live?
Nah, I think he'll sacrifice himself to save his sister.
Okay, that's sound. Bran Stark, I think
he's gonna live. He's just not gonna be fucking Bran Stark anymore.
He's not really been Bran Stark for like 2 seasons now, but I think he may die. I think he's gonna go the way of what's his name? Reed. Jojen Reed, in that he's just gonna let himself get stabbed a whole bunch of times because he felt he's served his purpose.
I guess it's hard to say because like
you're putting down as a big old question mark.
He's probably in the if he die, maybe if the Night King dies, maybe the Three-Eyed Crow can die as well. So then maybe Bran will just turn to normal.
Yeah. Sandor the Hound Clegane. I think he's gonna kill his brother, and then I think he may die in the final battle, but I actually am thinking he's gonna live.
I'd like to hope he lives, but I'd say he'll probably die saving Arya.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, someone Wildcat Dina, I think is what that says. She makes a good point that I agree that once the Night King is defeated, his character serves no purpose. So I don't think they're going to keep Bran around.
That's why I'm saying like maybe he'll turn back to Bran.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's
actually.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like maybe if
show,
the Night
certainly.
King dies, maybe the Three-Eyed Raven's power disappears because Bran never died in the traditional sense. Like he just became the Three-Eyed Raven. He didn't like get stabbed.
Yeah.
So he might just turn normal.
I'm thinking that now. Actually, I think he's going to be like, "Whoa, where have I been for the last 2 years?"
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's possible he could live.
I think they're going to Tyrion Lannister. I don't think they're going to kill off him. I hope not. Anyway.
I can just see him being like the hand of the king or queen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
he'll probably live.
Yeah, Davos.
Oh, he gonna die. I love Davos so much, but there's no way he's making it out of this
Not
alive.
the Onion Knight.
I love him very much. He's one of the few characters who the show made me actually like the character more. At least in the beginning, because the problem with Davos is that he, in the books, is the character perspective of which we get all the Melisandre and Stannis chapters, which are so dull. And it's not Davos' fault, but they're just so dull.
Fabian Kester in Super Chat, please rank the seasons.
Rank the seasons?
I mean, that's easy for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I would say that seasons 3 and 4, I'm not going to give exact specifics. I'd say seasons 3 and 4 are the best, because they are past the introductory point. They're not that terrible season 2 shit with Dany. There's the red wedding, that's the purple wedding, they're still within the boundaries of the books, but they're not stuck in first season no money. So I would say seasons 3 and 4 are the best, and then seasons 1 and 2 are in the middle, and then 5, 6, 7 of not getting shittier. Because I think 3 and 4 is when they really hit their stride. It was when they were the most popular. It was when they had the most budget. It was when they didn't need to, like, you know, it wasn't a snake eating its own tail of not quite predictable, because the stuff that they were adding in or changing still worked. But it's about season 5 where stuff starts to go downhill. So I that's what I would rank it generally as. I can't give like a specific one.
Fair enough. So we're going to put him down as dead as Dudu.
He probably is going to die. That would be my guess.
Samwell Tarly.
He'll live.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
He needs to write There and Back Again, The
Best
Song
friend.
of Ice and Fire.
So Samwell Tarly is George Martin's self-insert character.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. Damar's Face, Super Chat, do you think Jaime will die?
No, how do you think
Oh,
Jaime...
how? Okay, well, book-wise, kills Cersei and then kills himself. They did say they're going to die
Probably,
together.
yeah.
Or kill Cersei and then immediately killed by her guards.
Yeah.
Or
stab both of them with the same sword or
Ooh,
something.
nice, yeah. She's going to be like, burn them all! And he's going to be like, not again. But show-wise is very tricky. I'm thinking dead in battle in front of Cersei.
I would say dead in battle, but he's going to do something that's super redeeming. Like, besides, I think there has to be probably a scene of him talking to Brienne and being like, sorry for pushing you off the tower.
Brienne's not going to give a shit.
No, he doesn't know that, though. He has no idea. So I think he's going to have some sort of apology moment there. And then I think he's going to have some sort of... I think maybe he'll end up saving Brienne.
Oh.
Maybe.
I certainly...
Or Dany.
Oh,
Because that would be real full circle.
I ship Jaime and Brienne much harder than I do Brienne and Tormund. I love Tormund.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Brienne, I don't think Brienne would end up with Tormund even if Jaime's dead.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Do you think she might... Is there any realistic chance that Jaime and Brienne might have a future together?
I really hope so, but I don't think so. I can't see it happening. I think, like, in terms of, like, our most popular characters and, like, people really like them, it's, like, you know, of protagonists, you have Jon and Tyrion and Dany, and then I think the other two that are contenders for the top are Jaime and Arya. So I think Jaime, I just don't see him living. Like, I would here's the thing. I would love for Jaime to live. I don't think he will. I think he has to die somehow.
Okay.
I think he wants to die honorably in battle.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't see... His character screams not making it through, to be completely honest, so yeah. But we're saying Sam's live. Melisandre.
Oh, she's gonna die.
Yeah, she basically said in the last seasons, like, I'm having a vision, me and you, Viserys, we're gonna die in Westeros.
Yeah, that makes me worried. Because I really like Varys, and I really don't want him to die.
In fact, he's next on the list, so yeah, we're saying he dead. He dead.
How do you think Varys will die? Do you think he's gonna die because he changes sides and wants to get Jon on the throne once he finds out that Jon is the actual heir and he doesn't like Dany much because she's got exploding
I don't
dragons?
think he's gonna die via trickery. I think he's gonna...
Just die?
I think he's just gonna die. I think a White Walker's gonna stab him.
I would prefer that to him being like, oh hey, actually, Jon, you're the heir? Hey, buddy! We should betray Dany.
Do you think there's
I really hope he doesn't do that, because that would piss me off so much.
Do you think there's going to be any payoff as to who the fuck is the Lord of Light and whose side is he on?
I don't fucking think so. I think the Lord of Light, Prince of His Promise bullshit doesn't fucking matter.
You don't think it's going to come up in the show?
No, because we've already seen that prophecies don't mean anything.
Yeah, but, I mean, the Lord of Light is confirmed as being a real thing. He's a fire god of some sort. And he gives Melisandre powers.
Yes, but we don't know if... The thing with pantheons is it could be many, many things.
Right. Okay.
Jonas Salz. Favorite moment, favorite actor. Salz equals salt in German. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Favorite moment. Well, favorite character for me, or favorite actor. I really like Liam Cunningham, the guy who's Davos's actor, because there's a lot about Davos's character in the books that is just super boring, and he makes it really, really interesting. Like, he's just a really good actor.
What?
Or Ian Glenn, is that the name of the guy who's Jorah?
I think so.
He's really good. He is too good for that character. Because that character's an asshole.
That character's
in the books. He's an awful character, but they make him so nice.
Yeah, he's good.
My favorite moment?
What was the name of the wildling village that was wiped out at the end of season 5?
Hardhome?
Hardhome. The Battle of Hardhome was my favorite
really
moment.
Good,
that was such... Every moment of that was just amazing.
As much as I dislike a lot of the stuff that they do for the newer seasons, I will say, like, that 10 minutes of the build-up to the blowing up of the Sept was really well done.
So well
if they'd done, like, as much work that they did with those 10 minutes as they did with, like, the rest of the season, that would have been amazing. I think that was really, really well done, and you gotta give them props for that. Like, regardless of how accurate that is to the books or whatever, like, they did a really good job with filming that. That was just really well shot. Like, the music in that fucking scene is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give them that. That one was really good. That was one of my, oh hey, maybe this won't be shit after all. And then I was disappointed by the following season.
I can't remember his name. The actor who plays the Hound, I'm a big fan of.
The guy from Hot Fuzz.
He's in Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
Who does he play?
He's like the dumbass. Or is it Hot Fuzz? I think he's in it. Yeah, he plays one of the guys at the station. He's like a complete idiot. He sounds nothing like the Hound. Isn't he in it? If not, I think it was Hot Fuzz.
Roy McCann?
Yeah, Rory.
Oh, Rose is in the chat. Hey, Roses. Thanks for stopping by.
Hang on.
Holy smeg, the chat is going mad for her. All right, let's see. We know who's the more popular YouTuber.
Yeah, he's in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, he's the Yarb guy.
Thank you.
Yarb.
Thank you. That's who he was.
Yarb.
It's been a really long time since I've seen it.
Yarb.
Yeah, but yeah, that's him.
Yarb. Okay, good to know. Good.
I think we skipped another super chat.
We did, probably.
Hang on one second.
Doop, 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 doop.
Gendry's future.
Muscles, long hammer, Arya hug. Actually, that's a good question, actually, because him and Arya had a sort of maybe romance, and she's more age appropriate now.
Yeah.
As in, she's not a minor.
I think it would be interesting from just a story written wise, because she is a Stark, and she supposedly looks a lot and acts a lot like Lyanna.
Right.
Gendry is Robert's bastard. And looks a lot like a young Robert. So it'd be really interesting if, like, they've come together of, they were supposed to be, they were betrothed, and then obviously everything happened, but that would be really interesting if it comes full circle and having those two characters kind of come together again. But in a more natural way, because the two of them care about each other.
Yeah.
I think it's just really interesting, like how
the
stuff
universe
repeats.
is giving a second chance for that particular pairing to happen.
Exactly.
Gosh, I'd never thought of that. That's interesting.
Martin does a lot of good stuff with, like, circling and repeating and, like, just patterns.
For a complete git, he's a genius, isn't he? Give another super chat.
Did we? Oh, we did.
Do you guys think Melisandre and Jon will meet?
Oh, meet up again?
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I hope not, because he's sworn to execute her if they meet again.
Yeah, but if he's dead, and she brings him back
via
her own life, that would technically be true.
Via her own life, right? Because he specifically said, please don't do that again, and she's like, no promises.
I would say that Melisandre is definitely going to show up and do something Lord of Light magic, whether that's resurrecting someone or just whatever else the Lord of Light can... Maybe birth another weird shadow baby to fight the fucking Night King.
Maybe
That'd be
give,
nice.
like, Longclaw, like, flame powers. Make it even cooler.
That would... In order for her to do that, though, she does have to fuck somebody.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't know. Maybe she's got some other powers that don't involve fucking.
Maybe Gendry will take one for the team, because they have to have king
He'll
powers.
take one for the... She almost killed him!
Yeah, but she's like, okay, someone has to bonk her to make this assassin.
Somehow, I think someone
And you get all the people with King's Blood just like, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Because no one knows what she looks like without the necklace on, but
That was such a weird scene.
There's an old saying in Britain, don't stick your dick in evil witches.
Hi. No.
Okay. I am chastised.
Yes. Anyway, what do we have next?
Will they live?
Yeah.
Gendry. We skipped Bronn because I don't think
he's not.
He's not really.
I don't think he's going to be relevant. I don't think he's coming back. What? Okay, we got to read
We
it
have
out
to
loud.
pause for this.
Hang on. Okay, hang on. There's a long super chat. Give us a sec. Matt Terlaga. Have you guys heard the rumor that Littlefinger is actually still alive? That the blonde woman who he paid in episode 7 of the last season was actually a faceless man who took his place?
Why would a faceless person agree to die for him?
Where would Littlefinger get the money for that? That's enormous. Like, the fucking Robert Baratheon wasn't willing to spend that much money to try and kill...
Who was the blonde? He played a blonde woman in season 7?
Wait, in episode 7 of the last season was...
Don't you have to die and literally give up your face for them to have your face?
Yeah.
They literally cut off your face.
Yeah, no, faceless men don't take one for the team, yo.
First of all, they don't take one for the team. Second of all, they're not like Odo. They're not shapeshifters who can take on anyone's form. They literally have to cut off your face and then put your face on.
Also, there's no way Littlefinger would have prepped for that, because he had Sansa's his blind spot. Like, he never would have prepped for something like that. He assumed that he had everything in control. That's the whole point of the scene.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. That's a
God,
hard no on that one.
I swear to God, if fucking Littlefinger shows up...
Oh, sons, I'm still alive. They give me another chance.
Guess what, bitch? I'm back. Like, what are you here for?
Your nightmare's not over.
He honestly shouldn't have even been in the most recent season. Like, he should have just been like, and gone. Like, I feel like they did a lot to make that be very clear that Ned Stark was getting his revenge in some form by having his children be the ones who killed him, because Brienne makes the whole point to say that, hey, I saw you.
Oh, sorry. So Laszlo the Great is saying, sorry, what he meant to say was, do you think that Melisandre and Bran will meet?
Oh, that would be weird.
It seems a bit pointless. They both have superpowers, but they don't really have anything connected to each other. They're both going to try and out-creepy the other.
Even if they do, I don't see anything coming of it. Like, I just don't see the point. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right, so, Gendry, we saying, will live.
I think so. I think if he didn't fucking die beyond the wall, he needs to reunite with Arya, so I think he'll be fine.
Tormund.
He's gonna die.
Aww.
He's expendable. Sorry, he is. He's been expendable forever.
That's why it's so cool whenever he doesn't die.
Yes, but you can only do that so many times and it gets annoying. It's like Loki.
Fair. Brianna Tarth?
I think she'll live.
Oh, good. Oh,
I think that...
My girl.
I think if... As much as wiggly as I am about, like, whether I think Jaime will live, I think Brienne has to live.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fair. Gilly?
I think she'll live.
Good. Dario? Okay, we've already agreed he's not the show.
He's pointless, so it doesn't matter. Missandei?
Oh, yeah, Missandei.
I think her, like, Sansa, probably non-fighter, probably will live.
Probably live, I think so. Jaqen, who's out the show.
Yeah, Jaqen's not a character anymore.
Derek's...
I swear to God, if Beric doesn't fucking sacrifice himself to save somebody, why keep him around?
Okay, so we're gonna...
I think he's gonna die.
Pod.
Please, for the love of God, live.
Please live, Pod.
He's so good. We need him.
He's too pure. He's the Chris Evans
he's such a cinnamon
of the Westeros world.
He's Cap America. He's Cap Westeros.
Ed? Probably dead. I think the Night's Watch is gonna get rolled over.
I don't think. Yeah, like I think if it depends on if Ed makes a last stand at Castle Black.
Yeah, if he's smart, he'll withdraw back to what's left of the Night's Watch back
because
to
there's hardly
Winterfell.
any of them left anyway.
Yeah, and there's no point defending the wall if it's already been breached.
Yeah,
so.
because they already had the battle with the wildlings. They already had the previous battle. Like
he's got less than 100 men left, so he's not going to make much difference either way. Little Sam.
I think he'll live.
Grey Worm. I think the fact that they've had the "I'll be back soon, darling" moment with him and
he's gonna fucking die.
Poor Grey Worm.
He has to fucking die. Also, I am actually curious to see if Little Sam lives, because he is technically a baby that the Night King was supposed to receive.
Think he's going to be hurt that he didn't get him?
I think so.
Okay.
Because we don't know what exactly they do with them in terms of other than turning them into a White Walker. Like, I don't know if it's like I don't know if there's like a magical like bargain something going on with the babies.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that's basically the bargain was provide us with babies and we don't kill you.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't know if it's
He's
under
dead now,
I don't know if it's under some sort of like kind of like Fae logic, you know, where
I see.
like,
So he, right? Well, I mean, because he couldn't, but the Night King couldn't keep up his end of it too because Castor died. Do you think? Matt Terlaga. Do you think that Dany's other two dragons will die in the season? I think at least one of them. I think Drogon's probably going to die defending Dany. Then you may still have Rhaegar at the end.
I think it depends on if Jon lives.
Good point.
I think if Jon lives, Rhaegar will live.
Do you
if
think
Dany lives?
Do you think Jon will ride him at some point?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. They have been hinting at that the entire trailer.
Well, Jon didn't do anything that Tyrion didn't also do.
No,
I think that was just meant. I think the bit where the dragon sniff his hand was just meant to be hinting that he's got Targaryen blood because they hadn't quite done the reveal at that point.
He's also never seen Rhaegar. He's only ever interacted with Drogon.
Right. So you think Rhaegar will be like, Daddy?
Not Daddy, but I think he'll like. They've made a point to say that Drogon specifically has fully imprinted onto Dany to the point that like even though he's wild, he's still like he's the one she always rides. He's the one she always takes in a battle. There's got to be somebody else for Rhaegar, and I think that's Jon.
I saw someone had subtitled that episode. You know where Drogon gets his like he goes, "Don't touch my mother." Okay. Qyburn?
Dead.
Oh, he's already dead, is he?
No, he's going to die.
He's going to. Oh, right. Yeah, he's the hand of the queen.
Yeah.
He's Reed is out. Royce probably dead.
Probably gonna die. Yeah.
Probably gonna die. He's gonna be.
He's too small of a character.
But he's gonna be in the battle, so I think there's gonna be a bloodbath and like.
Oh, probably.
There's gonna be a loser character like every episode.
I don't see him living. Yeah.
The Mountain.
Die. He has to fucking die. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. No, they built him up too much to not die. Wow. Look at the rest of this page. Just everyone already dead.
Dead. And Euron. Don't forget, we didn't write him in.
Euron, I think, is dead.
He's gonna die.
Okay. Well, that's all the people I have. I know there's more people we haven't got on this list, but let's see. If both Dany and Arya live till the end, will they become king and queen? Sorry, Dany and Arya? King and queen?
I'm assuming they mean Dany and
Jon.
Jon.
Well, we've already discussed this. I think it would make a lot of sense, but it does. If they decide they can't handle the incest, I'm not going to blame them for that.
Do you think Little Robin, Sweet Robin, will come back?
I think he is super pointless as a character.
I don't think so.
I think they're going to stick him back up in the Eyrie, and
I think if there's like a wedding, they may have him as like a cameo to represent like the unification. Like I think he might make an appearance post-war, but I don't see him appearing in the war section.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Apparently, what she meant was Gendry.
Oh, Gendry.
Will Gendry and Arya become king?
Gendry and Arya.
Well, Arya is not in line for the throne, any of the thrones, is she?
He's the bastard to Robert Baratheon.
Right. Bastards can't inherit
unless
they're legitimized by a king.
That's why, like, if Dany's not pregnant or doesn't have a kid, and she needs somebody, maybe she'll legitimize Gendry, is what people were thinking.
There's a lot of options.
But I don't think she would legitimize him at all. I doubt it.
She might... Who do you think... If Dany was going to ride Drogon into battle and she was like, just in case I die, this is the heir. Mm-hmm. Who would she pick? Assuming she learns about...
Assuming she meets all the characters and stuff?
Yeah, meets all the characters. She knows she knows that Gendry is Robert's bastard. She knows that Jon is her nephew.
I don't think she'd pick Gendry, honestly. Like, she does have...
There's no reason, no. The Baratheons...
Absolute, like, even if she loves Gendry and thinks he's the greatest dude in the world, I doubt she would legitimize him.
Okay. Don't think she'd pick Tyrion.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Don't think she'd pick Dario. My ex-boyfriend. He'll be...
Hey, honey, you want a throne? Who would she pick to be like her? Like
who would king?
Essentially, it's who is Elizabeth going to name as her heir? It's James in old history. So, but same situation.
So who's the James character?
That's what I'm trying to figure. It's like a distant relation of hers. So who's a distant relation of?
Jon is her nephew. So if she's not going to marry him, she may name him as her temporary heir until she has a child.
John's like the good example, but other than Jon, I think is
other than Jon, we're going to assume
because Jon obviously is like
Jon is too complicated.
Yes.
This is a hard question.
I don't know.
Because I don't know how Dany thinks at this point.
I don't see.
Sansa. She doesn't have any claim to the throne is the only thing. She doesn't have any, not to the south.
Here's the thing, yo. Dany's gonna fucking conquer. And if she's... Like, they picked Robert because he had super sort of distant relations to Targaryens, but they also picked him because he was the fucking head of the rebellion. So when you are the king and can just name anyone your heir and you've got the power...
They called it Robert's Rebellion, but Ned and Jon Arryn did way more work than he did. He hid a lot. He'd hidden a brothel for like the biggest battle.
No, but I'm saying like he was the face of it.
Yeah, he was the face of it, and he did personally kill Rhaegar, so he became the poster boy for it.
So I think if we're ignoring legitimacy, if we're ignoring like ties to throne, which Dany would do, because she doesn't fucking know anyone, I would say Sansa's not a terrible choice, but I don't think anyone would
You gotta
really
think.
want
You
her.
gotta wonder because Dany's going to want to make it a Targaryen. So the closest thing she has to a Targaryen is Jon.
Yeah, there's no other. Like
Maybe she'll declare it a republic.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's very like. By the way, yeah. Sorry, pushing up roses. The this shit does indeed sound confusing when you don't know much about the show. This is not a stream for beginners.
No.
Sorry.
I don't know who she like. In terms of people she probably likes and would actually want to have the throne and think might be good at it, Sansa's not a terrible choice, but honestly...
Tyrion's also not... I mean, because he's a good administrator, he's a good crap...
I guess.
Strategist.
I don't think he'd make a necessarily good
Hand
king.
of the King is the acting king, so if she dies, he would actually be next in line if there's no legal heirs.
That's what I'm thinking. He's probably...
He'd become the regent by default.
I think he'd be the regent and then, like, raise her kid. That's what I think, I suspect.
Yeah, and Tyrion might be a good enough bloke. Tyrion of the show might be a good enough bloke to turn over power when the king comes of age or queen. Gosh, that's a hard question, though. I regret asking that.
It's hard.
You want to take this one?
Matt Talaga, do you think, as is hinted in the trailer, that the Night King will raise Ned or any of the other Starks as White Walkers? Okay, so here's the thing. In the books, I don't remember if they've mentioned it in the show, the crypts, if you've seen the crypts, you always see the person next to a wolf and then there's a sword. They specifically say that they have to be iron swords because it keeps the souls of the dead trapped within the crypts, within their individual tombs. Probably because they know about how the fucking White Walkers work. So, one of the theories that people were thinking of is that the reason why Arya is so fucking scared and running for her life is that somebody from the crypts is resurrected. Here's the thing, though. It can't be Ned. If it is Ned, there's no way to know it's him because he's only bones.
First of all, yes, he's been reduced by bones. And also, we're not entirely sure where the bones ended up. We think he's in the crypts, but even if he is, I mean, that white's not going to have its head attached to its body.
Catelyn was thrown in the river. Presumably something happened to Robb's bones. He was never brought back. Like there was no.
Well, they sewed his.
Yeah, they never confirmed. They never confirmed that any of the other Starks. The only person we know who made it back to the crypts was Ned, and by this point, his body would be so. I don't. How long do bodies?
To go to bones, it usually takes a long time. I think they intentionally just reduced his body to bones.
Because otherwise he wouldn't have been... I doubt Littlefinger would have shown a chest with, viscera in it to Catelyn. I figure it's mostly just bones.
Yeah. I think... I'm assuming that if it was just bones that they...
Like, otherwise, how would it be in a chest like this big?
Yeah, I think they must have boiled his body or something. Because I think it depends on how much access like maggots have to it and stuff. Because if you just got a body just sitting there, it can take like hundreds of years to completely take away the flesh because it mummifies.
But you know who is in there?
Who?
Rickon and
Rickon.
Shaggy Dog.
Oh no, Rickon and Shaggy Dog.
That would be really shitty to bring them back.
Because
lights.
they established that Rickon was going into the crypt, and he's recent enough to be able to be a right. Oh no,
that would be really.
And that
shitty.
would scare the shit out of poor Arya.
Well, yeah. Also, Rickon's probably taller than her now, which would be weird.
Yes, the body kept growing.
No, in real
No,
life.
I'm just saying because the body. It's been like several years since he's been off the show. That kid's going to be much bigger now.
Yeah, I'm saying legitimately. We've seen the actors standing next to each other. He is taller than her.
Yeah, Rickon. So yeah, I think your guys are onto something there. I think Rickon's going to come back.
I mean that's because that's the only person they could do it with because none of the other ones.
He's enough to freak the fuck out of Arya.
Well, mostly because none of the other ones that we could confirm have been brought back would be in enough of a state that if they were resurrected, that they would recognize them as like Ned. You know, there's no way she would be able to recognize Ned.
Because he wasn't a Lord of Winterfell, they might not have put a sword on his crypt.
Theoretically, yeah.
So,
but yes, like they design it so that way they are protected potentially. It's some sort of magic against the whites because even though iron doesn't defeat White Walkers, it keeps them. It doesn't kill them, but it keeps them at bay. I think that's like a Fae thing that they base that on because of iron can't hurt like Fae creatures, and I think that's what they originally based it on.
Because there's a lot of times where superstition in Game of Thrones has turned out to be on the money, but there's also been times where it is just superstition. So I don't know which one this falls into.
I don't know, but I mean, Rickon and Shaggy Dog are early enough in the story. The only other thing I can think of, because they probably haven't shown it because it's terrible, is there were several characters who died above the wall who could possibly show up in white form.
Beyond the wall?
Hodor and Summer.
Hodor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're definitely bringing back Hodor and Summer as whites. Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Hodor.
That would be really shitty. But yeah, I think Rickon, if Arya recognizes Rickon, because it's been so long, I don't know if she necessarily would have. She didn't see him when he was older, so...
Ooh, actually, someone's asking, will Ghost live? Which makes me think, how many direwolves are left? Is Nymeria?
Ghost and Nymeria. Those are the only two.
Those two.
The only two.
So do you think Nymeria's epitaph was her appearing and briefly looking at Sansa before leaving, or do you think she's going to come back for the final battle? Yeah, Arya. I say Sansa, but I mean literally everyone.
I think potentially they might do what Dany did, where, she closed her eyes and summoned Drogon to her. I think if Arya is in legitimate danger, it is possible for Nymeria to show up if she's close enough. And if Arya, I think if they have enough of a strong enough connection, then it would not surprise me if Nymeria shows up to help with the battle.
Okay, but so do you think any direwolves will live through the end? I'm thinking Nymeria is more likely to than Ghost, because Ghost is a bit like Jon in that he's too tragic a character not to die. Did they bury Shaggy Dog in the tombs as well?
They did.
Okay,
yeah, they said they buried him with
we're definitely
Rickon.
going to deal with a direwolf riding right Rickon. Definitely. I'm going to put my money on it.
I can see Nymeria and Ghost both living. I just think that Nymeria wouldn't stay in Winterfell. She'll just go back to the woods.
Okay. Eating passers-by. So anything else we need to predict?
Who ends up on the throne, I guess, right?
Okay, who is going to be finally on the throne? I want it to be Dany. I want it to be Daenerys Targaryen, the first of her name, the Breaker of Change, the Mother of Dragons.
I hope it isn't Jon, because Jon just doesn't want it.
Again, we've discussed this in streams past. We've discussed that Jon is a man with a singular purpose. He wants to stop the Whites. He has no interest in politics besides from that. It's going to be like, okay, I've done my one campaign promise. I don't really know what I'm doing after this, because he was never... we never really got a chance to see if he was any good at leading the Night's Watch. He was absolutely crap at leading the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, he's not very good with strategy.
Sansa the Great. Didn't Peter... I'm assuming you mean Peter Baelish, bring Ned's corpse to Catelyn?
Yeah, yes. But the thing is, if you're presenting somebody's dead husband to them, and they're in a box, that means that either...
Was it a box?
It was.
I thought they had
it's like a chest.
I thought it had like a sheet over it. No, it was a chest.
No,
Are you
it's
sure?
a chest. The Silent Sisters, you see them with the thing, the people who take care of the dead.
Right.
And he comes with like a chest like this big, and I don't think he would have showed her like a rotting corpse. I'm pretty sure they said it's his bones, like just his bones. I think they would have been because Tyrion.
Yeah,
did.
they've specifically said
Tyrion
Ned's
sent it
bones.
as goodwill.
So presumably they probably stripped the flesh away so that it could be transported without causing
That's
a bubonic
why.
plague.
Yeah, you're not going to transport dead flesh that way. Like most likely, what they would have done is
boiled the flesh
did
away
an
and put the
acid.
bones in the chest.
I don't know what they do specifically, but like it wouldn't make any sense to bring pieces. Like the bones are the important part to the crypt. That's what they want. They don't want the flesh necessarily.
Ooh. That's an interesting idea. Sorry, Wildcat Deanna. I think Jon will die years after the battle because the magic from the Lord of Light wears off. The series started with his namesake Jon Arryn dying, seeing it's going to come full circle. It's interesting what they may. I don't think they're going to do a time jump at the end, but I think they may hint that Jon specifically says he doesn't know how long that he will be back from the dead, because he is being. I guess he is being alive by magic because he's still got the holes in his chest, hasn't he?
He does.
So Jon, you're right. Jon may be living on borrowed time.
Who knows?
But I think that may be left ambiguous if he survives. I think possibly he's probably not going to live, as much as that pains me to say.
I think it would be interesting if Jon can just like have a nice rest now, because like
Jon's been through a lot.
His whole thing was just.
Do you think he'll go back to being the Night's Watch? I guess there's not going to be much point for a Night's Watch.
I think he might become the new. I think he might become one of the Kingsguard.
I don't think you can become Kingsguard if you're a king.
Not if
he can.
I'm saying I don't think he might be the king. I think he might just want to join the Kingsguard.
Fair enough. It's just that if it does become a point where Dany can't marry him, but she also can't allow him to be king in the north because of it poses a threat to her. He may choose to go back to the Night's Watch and give up his claim to everything, because that would be respected by the north.
I think it just depends on the state of things at the end, because if the army and the wildlings are not a problem anymore, you don't need the Night's Watch, right? So then what do you do? Well, like, what would Jon do then?
I mean, just guarding against other wildlings, I guess.
I don't know. All of them are like, at this point, like, the whole...
Could turn it into an Aspen-style ski resort. Trips beyond the wall. Bring your family. It's perfectly safe.
No. I'm just saying, like, it depends on what happens. Like, it depends on how, like, if you kill the Night King, if everyone just falls over sort of situation, because then there's no need to defend the wall if he's dead, theoretically.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. It really honestly depends.
This show has been very, very, very careful not to give us much to work on. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I think we've predicted everything we can.
Yeah.
So sorry, we've already covered the will Jaime kill Cersei thing.
So what else? Who lives? Who's on the throne?
Who dies? Who tells your story? Dany and Arya, will they be friends?
I think Dany and Arya are going to get along perfectly fine. I think Dany and Sansa are going to have a much more interesting conversation.
It also, I mean, depends who's writing the show, because women have to hate other women is kind of a feature.
Well, I mean, Arya likes strong women in her past. That's why she named her direwolf Nymeria. So I think she's gonna like Dany, no problem. I think Sansa's just gonna be like, great, more shit to deal with.
She might become who was the Payne guy, the King's Justice?
Ilan Payne?
Ilan Payne. I think Arya may become the new King's Justice.
Oh God, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. If you piss off Queen Dany, she sends her niece-in-law or cousin thrice removed to mess you up.
I think some people were saying that they think Arya might go west of Westeros to see what's there.
Didn't that always end badly, though?
It ended. We just don't know what happened to any of them. Where they end up, who fucking knows?
Maybe they find something that's so cool they never want to come back.
Yeah. I can see her maybe, like, once everything's over, being like, I'm gonna go west of Westeros and be awesome and be an adventurer. I think I can see that happening, because she's mentioned it a couple of times.
There's a question is reminding me. There's a theory that the wall wasn't built by the giants or anyone. It was built by the Night King as part of a treaty. It's probably too long a theory to go into now. I'll see if I can link the video at some point. But yeah, I don't think they're going to go into that in the show. I think that the wall is just the wall. It was built by
Bran
the
the
first
Builder.
men, Bran the Builder, and all that lot.
Who might be Bran.
Reincarnated?
Bran via mind powers.
Green side?
Yeah, like possessing somebody else.
Oh, okay. Super chat. Matt again. Do you think we will see any of the White Walkers riding the terrifying sounding giant ice spiders they mentioned in the book?
That'd be so cool, but no, because that's too much money.
Yeah,
There's no way.
They're kind of having some budget issues in this last season, which is why
Yeah.
it's only 8 episodes. So
6,
I don't.
actually.
6. Fuck my life.
Yeah, but the thing is, most of them are an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's easier to film one long episode than multiple short ones because you don't, it's just production wise.
I think that's cool. I don't think it's happening because it's
Yeah, I would like. I'm definitely team yes, bring on the ice spiders, but I'm also in agreement that it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, they won't do that this late in the game. I don't think so.
Okay.
Go a little longer.
Got it. How long are we doing this for?
30 minutes, something like that.
Another 30 minutes?
Yeah, that works.
Because I'm out of stuff to talk about.
I'm trying to think of other things that we can talk about.
Sansa might be doing some scheming shit with Dany.
Well, I mean, Sansa has every right to be nervous about Dany, both for her reputation currently and her legacy. Like, we know that Dany's a good person, and we know that, like, eventually her and Jon are going to be fine. Thing is, characters are not aware of this all the time. So I think her being like, okay, who's this bitch coming into town, makes perfect sense.
Here's an interesting question. Will Bronn ever get his castle? Probably
if
not.
he shows up.
Where is Bronn? Where was the last time we
He's
saw
still in
Bronn?
King's Landing. He was working for Cersei.
I think Jaime's gonna be riding out away from King's Landing, and Bronn will be like, wait for me.
Maybe.
Fuck this shit. Don't leave me with her.
I don't know. I think Bronn's very content to be like, fuck this. He doesn't seem the type to be altruistic. Like, I think we're not going to see Bronn.
Do you think they're going to go any further down the road of Dany inheriting her father's madness? Because there's been hints at it sometimes when she was going a bit dictatorial and marine.
I don't think so.
I think that was just showing how inconsistent Dany is. She was pissed because people kept killing her and Sullied, so she was starting to make examples of people.
I think it just shows that Dany needs a fucking advisor and doesn't know how to do everything herself.
That's true, and that's about when they brought in Tyrion, so... Yeah. And she did give her good advice. Don't be Queen of the Ashes. So I think they kind of concluded that story, that sub-arc.
Yeah.
So no, I don't. I think they're going to drop that line.
Let me see. I think the Night's Watch is going to be gone. I think... I'm trying to think of other, like...
What'll happen to the Ironborn fleet? I think that's going to be tied into Euron. I think Euron and Theon are going to have a showdown, and Yara. Because they seem to have a thing in this show where if you cut off the head of the snake, the body just dies, because that's why we haven't seen the Dornish army. Mm-hmm. It's apparently just kicking its heels. It's like, well, I thought the Sand Snakes were coming back, but I guess not. I'm just going to wait here.
I mean, Dany's fleet, a lot of it is the Ironborn fleet, because that's where she got the ships from, so some of it is... 100
or so of them, but that's already been... That was decimated
by
Euron.
Some of them were decimated, yes. We don't
so
know
Euron... I think the Ironborn fleet's not going to be relevant once Euron's dead, because they're just going to want to fuck off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
They're going to become pirates.
Yeah.
So I think as a cohesive military force, that will be the end of the Iron Islanders.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to conclude it via Euron, and then just say, oh yeah, the pirates are just going off and doing their own thing. We'll have to deal with it down the line, because there's going to be a lot of piracy in Westeros after that. Like, merchant shipping is going to be a nightmare. But yeah, so I think that's what they're going to do there. Golden Company... I think will get dropped off, and I think they will be a big plot point, because they're either going to have to deal with them first or deal with them after. That was the first thing we looked at.
Mm-hmm. Clegane Bull, I seriously don't see it happening, guys. I'm sorry. I think they're just fucking with us. I think they're trying to get our expectations up for that, and they've already done that once before, and nothing fucking happens.
I'm thinking big battle between the Golden Company and whoever Dany has to send to deal with them, and I think Clegane are gonna go.
Sure.
I think I think Clegane is gonna be a thing.
I think they're just gonna dangle it and not actually do it.
Oh, I'll be mad. I will be so mad if that happens.
Yeah.
If
that was the previous season where I would say shit and you'd be like, no, and then it happened.
You're right. This is exactly.
So I'm saying, like, I think they're gonna definitely dangle it and be like, oh, hey, you want your Clegane ball? Fuck off. We've already watched the season.
That's why I was mad when the Hound died. I was like, but Clegane Bowl.
Jonas Sauls. Problematic things in Game of Thrones. Shout out to Dom, big fan.
Oh, thank you.
Lots of things in Game of Thrones are problematic. Like their treatment of women.
Well, treatment of violence towards women, big problem.
Forcing women to only be, like, one thing, and that's the only time they're effective.
I mean, the original writing after they ran out of books just became a big old clusterfuck.
The Dorne was just the worst.
We'll remember you, Dorne.
Dorne. You could have been so good, Dorne. Like, it would have been perfectly fine if they had just kept Oberyn and the part where he's currently in King's Landing, and then slowly shuffle it out of the story. But then they're like, no, we have to introduce these characters and do nothing with them. Made me so mad. So pissed. Like, nothing makes me angrier than people being like, oh yeah, look how feminist and good we are to the female characters. Look, the women are taking it back, and they're, like, marketing it super hard. Like, when Illyria killed everyone, and Olenna killed everyone, and Dany killed everyone. It's like, fine, that's great. To a point. Like, you don't need all your female characters to be complete, like, assholes in order to be good characters or strong characters. You can have a gentle character still be a strong character. Like, I think, like, Gilly is one of the strongest characters I can think of personality-wise, and she's, like, super passive. But, like, I'd be friends with Gilly. Like, I see her as a strong character who breaks a lot of archetypes you see with the, like,
I think I met
non-fighter.
I met the actress who played, not Gilly, sorry, I'm thinking of Mira. At Manchester Comic Con. She's nice.
Like, Mira, I think, is a good, like, she's capable of fighting, but she's not, like, an ass about it, you know? Like, Illyria and the Sand Snakes were just terrible because they're contradicting the very thing that they're fighting for.
No, the show did not know what to do with them at all. They spent an entire episode talking about how great they are. They failed to do what they did in the very next episode. They were then hanging around, and then they all just died. It was like, what
Stupidly.
were you doing there with those characters?
And, like, some of the Sand Snakes in the books are so fascinating because Dorne has a lot of subplots going on in the books of Duran, the guy in the wheelchair. He pretends to be everything that he is in the show, which is, like, complacent, just wanting to be left alone, willing to work with the Lannisters. But, like, the whole thing with him is he's putting on an act. Like, the whole thing is him trying to appear weak. And they sort of mentioned it in the show, but they kill him off. And I was just like, why? He's got a really cool thing going on. And then, like, as soon as they killed him, I was like, oh, shit, great, no. Because the whole point, like, Illyria takes beats from Duran's child in the books, Arianne, who is the actual heir to Dorne, who's a girl, because in Dorne you can be either gender, it's just whoever's born first. And so she sets up a complicated plot to try to get Myrcella to take over King's Landing via the rules of Dorne because she's older than Tommen. And so there's a whole subplot involving that. And then it's her, like, failing to do so, talking to Duran and finding out that there's a whole complicated secret plot going on. And he has sent the various Sand Snakes into different locations to go do different things. One of them is in Old Town, and it's really cool. And they totally fuck it up. Yeah. And they gave them no personality other than, we're just going to be catty and mean and terrible, and we're going to kill our own, I don't know what they would be, cousin? Almost cousin? Half cousin to Quentin? Because that's, like, they're somewhat related-ish.
Yeah. I cannot keep track of who's related to who in these things.
Because they're Oberyn's children, and Oberyn was the uncle to Quentin, so that would be, like, cousin, second cousin, half cousin. I don't know how it works with, like, that. But they killed their kin. Like, it's real shitty.
Yeah, people are trying to think of a good example of a nuanced female character. I mean, someone's suggesting Lyanna Mormont, but I mean, she's
Arya
a fan
again.
Yeah, she's a fan favorite, but she's not a big enough character. She's only had like 2 scenes.
She's just Arya, but with she's what happens if you fuse Sansa and Arya.
Yeah, Brienne of Tarth. What do you think her ultimate fate will be if she lives?
If she lives,
Because someone's suggesting Kingsguard, and I think she'd love that.
I think she'd be pretty happy with that.
She's wanted nothing more than to be a Kingsguard. She was part of the Rainbow Cloaks for a while.
I can see her either being part of the Kingsguard, depending on who's the king or queen. I can also see her just still being Sansa's like main protector. I think she takes her vows very seriously, and then it depends on what Sansa does for her. Like, if Sansa says, if you want to go join the Kingsguard, I believe you. You've done everything for me. You've protected me. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I can see her just staying with Sansa.
Sansa's bodyguard for
I think she really I think she's impressed with
Lady
what
of
Sansa
Winterfell
does.
isn't a small position.
No.
So, yeah.
No, I think she'd be perfectly content staying in Winterfell, but I can also see her wanting to join the Kingsguard depending on what allows her to do so.
The whole that always has to be a Stark in Winterfell thing. Does that apply to girls too? Or does it have to be a male Stark?
We don't know.
No.
We don't know exactly how the rule works.
Cool.
Oh, our kitty had a little blip.
Don't be a crazy kitty lady on stream.
It was real big though. Should we bring Cat over?
No.
Oh, kissy kitty.
I think Lyanna's gonna die. You're about 20 years too late, I think. Lyanna Mormont. Sorry. Wait. Who was I thinking of?
Lyanna Stark.
Okay.
She was named for her, if it helps.
Right. I hope she doesn't die. I don't think that would seem mean. Yeah. Matt again. Random question, but do either of you have a theory about the identity of the Knight of the Laughing Tree from the books?
I think it's Lyanna.
That was the guy who snuck into the tourney at Harrenhal and was going to win, but then snuck off at the last minute. It was a mystery night, basically. The good theory is that it's Lyanna Stark, which would explain why Rhaegar gave her a rose. It was not only saying you're the hottest woman here, it was also saying you probably deserve this victory, but I know why you couldn't fight in the final round.
Because the Mad King got really pissed off and sent Rhaegar to go try and find the Knight of the Laughing Tree, and he wasn't able to find him, and so it would make more sense if either like he knew it was her and didn't want to reveal her identity, and then that's like how they sort of get together. It's like he recognizes that she was a great knight and the great warrior.
Because Rhaegar was into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The other theory that was expressed in the books was that it was Howland Reed,
which is also
Howland Reed's father or brother or someone.
No, it was. They say it was Howland Reed.
Howland Reed, because he was but this was a Reed saying this was his daughter telling the story, so they had a reason to want to claim all the glory. So they said that he went to go see the Children of the Forest on the Eye of the First Men thing in the island. On the way back, he happened to stop by the tourney of Harrenhal, and he got beat up by a bunch of douchebag squires and saved by Lyanna Stark. Mm-hmm. And then it said, just coincidentally, that those squires were unhorsed, and then he unhorsed their masters and said, hey, discipline your squires and shit. So it was a good, like, revenge story. Get just desserts.
So either way,
other possibility,
either way it works. I just think it makes certain events make more sense. Of if it was Lyanna and then Rhaegar gave her the crown, then it's her being like, oh shit, he knew it was me.
Oh, I goofed.
Yeah, because it's not like you're supposed to. It's an unwritten rule that you're supposed to give it to whoever your lady is. If you already have a lady, when you present the crown of flowers, it's not like illegal. It's just really.
It's really awkward.
Awkward.
It's like giving a Valentine's Day's card to someone who's not your girlfriend. It's like
it's just a little odd, and the fact that Rhaegar would be willing to do that is a little
dodgy.
Little dodgy, yeah. Honestly, like the stuff with that, I would be really interested to see, like them do a show. Like season or 2 with would be like the stuff during like the tourney of Harrenhal and seeing like a young Rhaegar. That'd be really neat.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see that. Either that or the stuff with the Duncan egg stories, which takes place like 100 years before, something like that.
Who do you think will kill the Night King? That's a good question. My theory.
Jon.
It's either going to be Jon or Daenerys on Drogon.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be Death by Fiery Dragon directed by Daenerys, or it's going to be Stab.
I have to assume it's Jon. Like whether that
they've been setting it up. Jon's had a lot more contact with the Night King, so the only thing I could think of is maybe Jon and Night King go head to head, and the Night King wins, and Daenerys is like, no, fire.
Oh, what if?
Good night, Kelly, or go eat England. Not good night.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. Oh, well, have fun then.
what if, because this show is stupid. So Dany has the not burned powers because she's a true Targaryen or whatever. In the show, specifically. In the books, it's very clearly because it was blood magic, and that's why it only happened the one time.
Yeah, she's not fire resistant.
She's not fire. She has like a high tolerance for heat, but not like fire resistant.
She can't walk through the fire.
Whereas in the show, they've shown several times, no, Dany just does that. What if Jon's like got the Night King in like their locked swords, and he goes, have him use the fire, and she goes, no, it'll kill you, and he's like, it's okay, just kill us both. It's for the best. Okay. But then Jon lives because he's a Targaryen.
You're right. That is a kind of the kind of shit that only the show would write in. Haven't they established that Jon is not fire resistant because he burnt his hand on the lamp in season 1?
They've gone back and changed it before.
Maybe. So naked Kit Harington comes walking slow motion out of the fire and embraces Dany with his.
Did he burn his hand?
Yeah, that's how he had his hand wrapped up. It was he grabbed when Mormont was like, "What the devil's going on here?" He was like, "Ow!" Smash.
Oh, okay.
So, but I fully put it within their realm of possibility for them to ignore that.
It seems stupid enough to me.
Yeah. So no, I like this idea of completely naked Jon Snow walking out of the flames, like, "You did it, Dany. You did it. All right."
Dick flapping in the wind.
It's a bit cold. No one judge me. It's cold in the north.
Winter is coming.
Ah, you did. You did. You went there. Okay, well, that's the discussion we just had.
We did. It looks we have like 8 more minutes before.
Has anyone got any important questions you want to get out there before we go?
I guess, yeah. If we do want to do
Will the Mountain kill Cersei? Seems unlikely.
Nah. If he hasn't at this point. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, thoughts, predictions, etc. for this new season, I just.
You think that Jaime? Someone's suggesting that Jaime might have a death that ties into protecting or saving Bran as to come full circle in Game Redemption.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is killing Bran even the worst thing he's ever done, or trying to kill Bran? Because he killed his own cousin at one point.
It's less the physical event itself, still bad, but it's more the fact of what it was a chain reaction to everything.
Mm.
So I think it's both. Like I can see that happening. Thoughts on Qyburn's fate? I think Cersei will kill him.
I think I'm wondering if maybe Varys is going to come back, reclaim his little birds, and then have them turn on him.
I think the Mountain will kill him. I think that Cersei's going to get super paranoid about everything about her and have the Mountain kill him because she suspects that
it's going to show how mad she's gone. She's going to be going like full. Mm-hmm. What was the last Airbender? The really overpowered old sister to
Azula.
Azula. I think she's going to go full Azula.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. When will Aslan save Westeros? When we get that crossover. Get that crossover, baby. Yeah. Jaime stabs the Night King in the back to save someone. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's stab all the kings in the back. Double regicide all the way across the sky. Okay. Thoughts on prequels and other movies? Oof. Okay. I'd like to see a return to form for Game of Thrones. I'd like to see D&W getting some more, going back to being book loyal in the way that they were fairly good at in the early seasons. They were very good at adapting. There were some goofs, but mostly it was good. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Tales of Duncan Egg. I wouldn't mind seeing the Tawny and Harrenhal done by them. My worry is that people are going to be pissed because this is going to be pre-dragons and pre-magic. So it's going to be most of the best political moments in it isn't magic and dragons, though. But a lot of people really like that stuff. Like, there's a lot of people who really hate that first season because it's all just political stuff. Okay. So I'm thinking of a lot of people don't... If you didn't like the politics shit, then they're not going to care for the early stuff, necessarily. I think they're going to want to try to throw in some, like, hints to the magic coming, maybe. Someone's saying, do you think there'll be a cliffhanger ending followed by the directors pitching for moving the finale into a full feature film? Oh, absolutely not. I hope not. That would be awful. No. They already know that this is how it's going to end. That's it. Oh, D&D aren't involved in the prequel. Why am I saying D&W? I'm thinking it's David. I was thinking their surnames, but I was doing one person's first name and one person's surname. Sorry, dyslexia messes with my brain like that sometimes. DB Vice. That was it. So I was probably seeing the same person twice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, D&D aren't involved in the prequels. That's interesting to know. That puts it up in the air. Then this could be great or terrible. D&D have a lot of issues with their treatment of women and stuff, but they did do a good job with season 1. Yeah, actually, I'm in favour of changing out from them now that I've had a chance to think about it.
Going to do a show about the Civil War, but if the South won.
They were. I remember that now, and I was like, "Wow, those guys are not good at sensitive issues."
No, that's why I'm like, "Oh God, that'd be interesting." No.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see that. Do you think Brienne is related to Duncan at all?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he did.
I believe they confirmed it actually.
Did they?
I believe George R. R. Martin confirmed it in an interview that she is distantly related to Duncan the Tall, which is why she's so tall.
Oh, so did he had kids, or is this like related?
He had kids. Yeah. No, yeah.
Because he joined the King's Guard. I thought they weren't allowed to have kids.
They're not allowed to have titles.
Were they naughty kids?
I think they were naughty. Also, I mean, he might have siblings. She might be distantly related to him via.
If he had siblings, he never knew of them, so it'd be hard to prove that.
I thought Martin said that it was confirmed. I think he had children.
Oh, well, good for him.
Well, I know Egg had children because he named one of his sons after Duncan. So.
It is confirmed.
But yes, it is confirmed that she is related to him, which is why she's so
Hodor
tall.
is his descendant. I don't think... You're just naming all the tall characters. Hodor is part giant. Someone bonked a giant at some point.
Yeah.
That doesn't anything to do.
No, but yeah, George R. R. Martin confirmed in an interview that's why Brienne is so tall.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot... Everyone's suggesting ways that they could go about doing sequels. There is a lot. There's a huge history of Westeros. They could do the original Battle for the Dawn. They could do the Andal invasion of Westeros. You could do the Valyria, the
Fall of Valyria.
The Fall of Valyria would be very interesting.
Like Pompeii, but Valyria.
John
Actually a good movie.
Kit Harington was in that movie too.
He was.
That's a weird connection there.
So was Emily Brown.
You could do the Targaryen invasion, the unification of Westeros. That did take a few generations in the end.
Aegon's conquest. It's just,
you could do many. You could do the Civil War, the rebellion.
There's a lot you could do. It's just a matter of which
the Blackfire Rebellion.
I think they need to separate it by a while. I think you could do a little bit of the Robert's Rebellion stuff, but I think it would probably be in their best interest to do stuff that's at least 100 years before, because then they don't have to worry about getting all the actors again. They can just have new cast.
Oh, I see. They're saying that the theory is that because Duncan, at the end of the last Duncan book that he's written, they said that Duncan's determined to get to Winterfell, so they think he may have banged old Nan while she was in her prime.
Oh yeah, a lot of people believe that she's his girlfriend in the legends.
Oh, okay.
But then
I don't think that can be that can't be confirmed yet, because he hasn't even written the books where Duncan gets to Winterfell. Just because we know that both these people will be in the same place.
Well,
but again,
it's from the actual text where Nan talks about Duncan.
Oh, does she?
I think she tells the legend of him at the very least. So, like the idea that she's just aware.
I don't remember her doing that.
I
know she told the legend of the last hero.
I just remember. I forget why it was that people thought it was
her. Old
her.
Nan isn't old enough. She was like 150.
She's like 100 something. Yeah. Like she's around the same age as Aemon. So.
Yes.
He's around the same age.
Aemon was Duncan's brother. Egg's brother. Mm-hmm. So no, she would be a bit too young. She would be maybe if Duncan's because Duncan's only like a teenager, so they would be about the same age, I think. Mm-hmm. In the stories,
he might be several years older than her.
He thinks he's like 17 or something, doesn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
You can definitely kill dragon. Okay, I don't know where that's coming from. There's people deciding what could kill a White Walker and what can kill a dragon.
Has to be.
Dragons are flesh and blood. If you stab them with something big, they'll die.
Yeah.
So it's only the White Walkers. The Whites will also, if you set them on fire or you hack them into enough pieces, they will die.
Or stab them with a Valyrian steel sword.
Or you stab them with a Valyrian steel sword, they will die. In the show, if you stab them with dragon glass, they'll die instantly, no matter where you stab them. So I think, it's only the Whites that have special things. Dragons are just really hard to kill because they're huge and they breathe fire. And they're fast and they can always see you coming because they're like super predators. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're just hard to kill because they're really hard to kill.
Not a full season, but Charles Dance actually doing the Reigns of Castamere and destroying House Reigns. He's too old, guys. He would need to be playing a younger version of himself for that.
Yeah,
You'd need
they'd get a
somebody
younger
else.
actor. I think
I
Charles
love
Dance.
Charles Dance, but
Yeah, he's a dude.
he's a
but
good guy. But that's why I'm saying like I would prefer the prequel stuff like at least 100 years in the past, because then you don't have to worry about getting any of the actors again. You don't have to worry about adjusting stuff for timelines and whatnot.
Do you think that wildfire can kill dragons? And if so, do you think Cersei will try and kill a dragon with it? Now, I don't think...
Wildfire?
Wildfire's super hot, but I don't think it's as hot as dragonfire. So they're made of dragonfire. They got,
Well, wildfire is what a Mad King used to drink because he kept... Or no, not the Mad King. Someone else used
someone tried to drink
There
it
was
and they
another
died,
king who went mad because he kept trying to drink wildfire. But I don't know if we've confirmed how strong it would be against dragonfire. Hard to say. I mean, just because dragons breathe fire doesn't mean they're impervious to their own dragonfire.
What happened to old Nan in the end? Did she die when the Greyjoys sacked Winterfell?
I think they just never showed her, so presumably she died off screen. Presumably.
Maybe Charles Dance with aged down with CGI.
No, please, can we stop
I think
doing that unless a character dies and then it has to be necessary for the filming? Like, I get it.
Oh, the actress died. Yeah, I'm wondering about the books. But yes, no, I agree. I don't think this isn't a Marvel movie, so I don't think they'll do that.
It's one thing if it's like a single instance for like a single movie, or if somebody tragically passes away and they need to finish something, that's fine. That's one thing, But like, I'm getting real sick of seeing it. Can we just have people as they are? Can use prosthetic makeup.
Wasn't
it's
Nan
even easier.
killed when they arrested Stark in season 1? I think you're thinking of the nun equivalent woman.
What was the question?
In season 1, didn't Nan die when the Starks were killed in season 1 in the Tower of the Hand? I think they're thinking of the maestress. What's the name of the female nuns in Westeros?
Septa.
The Scepter. I think you're thinking of the Scepter.
No, yeah, Septa Mordain died.
Yes,
but...
Nan stayed in Winterfell, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think Nan just died off screen because she's just in that first season and that's it.
Yeah. So apparently the actress died, and then I don't think they ever acknowledge what happens to her in the books, but I could be wrong. I might have to look it up later.
Yeah. I liked Septa Mordain.
Septa Mordain, yeah. That's everyone. Thank you, everyone. I'm always just brain farting on that one. She was good.
I liked her a lot.
Did she have she didn't really have a run Sansa, I'm going to hold them off moment in the books, did she? I know she died because you see her head on the spike, but I don't think she had
I don't believe well, I don't know, because Sansa, I don't think we see the perspective of when Sansa gets caught by the Hound.
No, because Sansa was locked in her bedroom the whole time. Because she went to Cersei the night before.
Yeah, because she was the one who informed Cersei in the books. But yeah, no, I don't believe that scene existed in the books, as far as I'm aware.
Let's do one last big question. Let's see.
Give us your best questions, yo.
Oh, someone's saying in the book she's in the Dreadfort together with the rest of the women and children of Winterfell. I didn't know that.
Old Nan?
Old Nan, yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
If Jaime and Tyrion live at the end, could they have a happy ending together in the show, unlike the books? Has Jaime... I know Jaime and Tyrion had some interactions when they met up in King's Landing. Has he forgiven him for killing his father? Because I know they argued about it, and I know he basically said, well, it was nice knowing you, brother, when he went in to go see Cersei.
I think that'll be up to Jaime in this most recent season, honestly. I think... I don't know. I think that's a Jaime question. I think at this point he knows that their personal affairs are their own thing to deal with right now.
Okay, how will they defeat the Night King? I think it's just... I mean, I don't think they can Star Trek or Stargate their way out of this where there's a big Deus Ex Machina they can find that will fix them. I think they just have to fight him. I think there has to be a big battle between the living and the dead, and someone has to kill the Night King. Because I think if they kill the Night King, that's going to kill the whole army, isn't it? That's going to be killing the droid starship, and all the whole everything will shut down.
I mean, we haven't established that anyone's ever tried to fight the Night King because he's always been conveniently just out of range to not fight. So you need to get him into the actual battle.
I think it's going to be that they're going to have one last stand, and it's going to look like everything's going to be lost, and then they're going to kill the Night King, and then the whole army will just go burp, burp, burp out of batteries. Because they have now established that if you kill the white that turned the other whites, if you kill the White Walker that killed the whites, they all die. So if they kill all the White Walkers, all the whites will fall, and maybe if you kill the Night King, the White Walkers will fall.
Potentially.
So I'm thinking they're setting it up for this Independence Day domino effect.
Yeah, presumably. Mostly just because otherwise it's...
They do that a lot with unwinnable battles, like Ned Stark destroying the Chitauri spaceship, Independence Day destroying the spaceship.
Yeah, and I mean, they've set up so
Star
many
Wars,
times.
for Phantom Menace destroying the spaceship. A lot of spaceships. Sorry, go on.
They've set up so many conflicts between Jon and the Night King. They've looked at each other dramatically at least twice now. So they gotta fight. That's probably just how it's gonna end. Whether or not Jon makes it after he kills him, we'll see.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that's
wraps
good predictions. Yeah, sorry if we had less firm stuff to work with because they've just been so tight-lipped at the trailers, so we're just going off trying to predict what D&D is going to do with this.
Yes.
So.
And of course, if we are wrong, oh well.
Oh well. We'll just delete this recording.
Delete the recording.
And claim that we claimed it all along, and all y'all, the word of 200 people against ours. Who are they going to believe?
Well, thank you guys for joining us on this lovely Saturday day or evening, depending on what time it is for you guys. Are you enjoying playing with your sword?
I was saluting. It's cool. Go on. Don't worry about it.
So as for episodes when they come out, I'll be doing videos. We're still determining how we're going to be doing those, whether we're going to be doing them in how I usually do, where it comes out like 3 to 4 days later with like a full video, or we're considering
we're maybe doing
vlog style, so that way we can get it out quicker.
Or both, like first reactions and then a more in-depth
first reactions.
Actually, does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Preference between, like, would you rather the video be out quicker but it's not as nicely polished? Like, it doesn't necessarily give me time to like download the episode proper and then like look in the background and see what I can find. Or would you prefer just, waiting it out and give me the time to like stop, like brighten stuff up, see what we can build from, like looking closely at the next time on sort of situation? Because
everyone's saying both.
Both is not necessarily what we're gonna do. We'll see. Because it depends on my schedule. My other job situations are always kind of balls in the air sort of situations.
Yeah,
I think we'll see.
I think it looks like polished does seem to be the consensus. If you can do it quick,
I will try to get it done quicker, because when I was doing these, this is when I was working full time, and I managed to get them out by like Thursday. So if I'm, depending on how my job situation is, if I'm working full time, I theoretically could still get it done. It's just, it does mean that my other videos are going to take a back seat for during Game of Thrones time. So I do still have a few more Persona videos I'm working on currently. I've got a Princess Tutu video I'm working on.
Yeah. People are asking if I'm going to be involved. If we're going to do the immediately after reaction vlogs, I'll be there. If she's doing the full...
If it's just like a full polished video, it's just me.
Just her.
But if it is a, like, immediate reactions, it'll be both of us, because it's much easier to bounce off between the two, because if it's just me standing in front of a camera for like a half an hour. Cool.
And they're saying, will you do another stream after the finale? What streams we're not going to plan too far in advance, I don't think. We may do, we'll see how we feel.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll do other streams in general, maybe not necessarily Game of Thrones ones. Like, we'll try to do more like gaming streams or just Q&As and stuff. We're almost at 20K for my channel, so maybe when I hit 20K we can do like a 20K stream, or like playing something, maybe like Jackbox games or something, or I don't know, something fun.
Yep.
Yes, on my channel most likely.
And yes, I'm going to be doing more Dom of Ice and Fire. I'm trying to finish off season 1 so I can move on to doing it by character and by location instead of episode by episode. So I do need to get a shifty on that. But yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and I look forward to the new season of Game of Thrones, mostly just for it to be over. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I know.
I'm so tired.
I'm slightly more optimistic for it.
I'm not. I've lost hope. My hope died. My hope died with season 7. It was so bad. I was so mad at it.
All
right. Well, see you guys next time, and keep an eye out for our Twitter and YouTube to.
Yeah, that's if you want to know what's coming up, Twitter is the best place to keep an eye on.
Yep.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all.
And the stream